Well, I just set it at 2,000 right now, so we'll see if that makes a difference.
Because the audio bitrate is decent. Because really you notice it when you're doing fast moving stuff when everything's still like we are.
We're at 94 likes going in or followers. I keep track of that.
Yeah.
Good for us.
Last time I had heard, we were at like 81.
It usually goes up 3 or 4 each week.
Okay. That's good.
Sometimes 6 or 7.
Baby steps.
Oh, did my video freeze? Oh, no.
It's a Heroes of the Storm ad. How did they know? Fucking junky-ass game.
Our Mario Kart thing had to have an ad on it. Unless I wanted to take the music out of it.
Hots jumped the shark.
As a Nintendo.
I'm gonna go and delete that first tweet. I realized I clogged up the Twitter feed putting up all my videos yesterday.
It's fine.
That's
what Twitter's for.
Clog the toilet, Corey. I was like, that's a weird time to let us know.
That's true. I guess they were pretty much an hour apart. All those tweets.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Plus, we're not very super active on there anyway.
No. Even less active on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook gets... I want to start at least once a day putting something on Facebook. It's usually only like twice a week.
Yeah. I tried to. Well, Facebook changed the way they do things. So, like, in order for people to see what you post, you need to pay. That's why it's, like, pointless.
The boost thing?
Yeah. Boost post.
Fuck that.
Yep, I agree.
Well, when they first did it, it's the old bait and switch. When they first did it, they showed it to everybody, and even when you first make your business page, like, it'll show it to everybody who likes you, but now it'll show it to, like, 30 people, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. I did notice that.
That's baloney. Stupid Facebook.
Hey, they want your money.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's right. Fetch it.
I was just going to have another suggestion, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, do we want to start tweeting like when we start the different segments during the live stream?
I think it would be good to do that for sure.
Okay.
It's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah, remembering to. Oh, that reminds me, I got to do show notes today. I don't know what jogged my memory.
Can you guys hear my air conditioner in the back?
No. I hear fans, but it's probably this thing. It's probably my chunky laptop.
You got a remote next to you?
No. I don't. I'd have to get up. I'll have to get up anyway to get a drink. But I have to wait till Dan says, let's go.
Right. There's something breezy. But I don't know.
I think it's this thing.
I could turn it off. It's actually kind of cool tonight, so I'll probably just turn it off.
It's nice out today.
Oh, it was beautiful. I painted all day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was great.
Outdoors?
Yep. Down by the bus stop, so nobody to bother me.
Nobody bothered you at the bus stop?
Nobody came to the bus stop the whole day I was there.
Wow.
Yep. It's not a very popular bus system down here. Or up here, I should say.
Okay, you ready to start?
I gotta get a drink.
All right.
Fucking queen he is.
Every week.
I know you guys, with your kids and stuff, it's hard, but Christy wanted me to ask you guys. She goes to this thing every year called Wine Fest.
Uh-huh.
It's in Watkins Glen. It's July 11th and 12th, I think.
Okay.
We're going. She wanted to see if you guys and Corey and Sophie wanted to go.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
love to go.
The reason, too, is because there's a bus that leaves here, goes up there, and comes back here the same day.
Nice.
So if you guys didn't want to drive.
Right.
But yeah. Okay. So we're going.
When do you need to know by? It doesn't matter.
I don't think there's tickets.
Okay.
You just kind of
go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll talk to
We're going either way. So it's her favorite weekend of the year.
Nice.
And she usually goes with her sister, but she's pregnant, so.
Right. Can't really imbibe.
Yeah. Corey.
Yep.
Before we get started, I forgot to ask you. Christy wanted me to invite you and Sophie, and I already told Dan about it, but it's this thing called Wine Fest in Watkins Glen.
Uh-huh.
It's like July 11th and 12th, I think.
Okay.
It's just a big wine festival. I think it's at the racetrack up there. She goes every year. I've never been, but she usually goes with her sister. But her sister's pregnant, so she can't. But yeah.
I'm game.
We're going either way. So if you guys want to come,
That sounds like fun. Is it's just like people like wineries bring wine kind of thing?
I think so. I'll ask her for more information.
Yeah, just
Just camping up there. Well, I'm not really sure.
is that a Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go. I gotta
Just
try and
Google
convince
it.
Sophie to drive me. But she'd be into that. She likes drinking wine and being outside.
Yeah. Watkins Glen Wine Fest. It should come up.
I'll text it to her right now.
It's a pretty good sized event up there. Pretty popular.
Nice.
No, I don't want to fucking update you, stupid thing.
That's what my pile of crap computer's trying to do. Pile of crap laptop, I should
Jake's
say.
up in hizzy.
Yeah.
Up in his house.
In the chat?
I see his name's in there. He hasn't said anything. He's lurking right now.
Lurking.
Lurker.
All right, ready?
He's waiting to troll us.
All right, here we go.
Lurking at trolls.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, everybody. Episode 201 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host, Dan.
I'm Eric.
Corey.
No Will this week. Will was ill, and also didn't play The Witcher. Didn't want anything spoiled for him for when he finally gets to The Witcher.
We aren't going to do many spoilers anyway, right?
No, it's going to be fairly spoiler free. Anything spoiler wise would be in the very beginning of the game. So story wise, there won't be any spoilers. But he didn't. I don't think he wanted any colored impressions of the game either,
fair enough.
really, so
That's probably smart.
Yeah.
I vote that at the end of the episode, after the outro song plays, we talk spoilers.
We were going to do a hangover.
yeah, me and Eric were planning on doing it.
Okay.
Would you like to take part? We're further than
Yeah,
you,
you
though.
guys are a lot further. I don't really want anything spoiled.
We could do a little bit of spoilers after the outro, and then me and Eric will just do our hangover after you're done.
Maybe we just talk about like the prologue, the first 6 hours in the first area at the end of this episode, and then you guys can do your thing after that.
That's fine. Yeah, me and Eric are going to do a hangover on the Bloody Baron quest line from The Witcher 3.
My balls get tingly thinking about it.
We wanted to, first of all, do a hangover, and second of all, talk about it. So we're going to do that in a hangover. And I mean,
honestly, we could probably do a main segment about it.
We could probably do a whole episode on the
Yeah.
Bloody Baron. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So that's our, me and Eric are going to do a hangover. Does anyone else have anything they want to tease for later on in the episode?
That is literally all I played.
Okay. Same here, I think.
So,
I have to talk about The Witcher 2, because I don't think I talked about it last week.
oh, did you beat it, or should we wait?
Yes,
Oh,
I
wow.
did.
Hey.
Well, round of applause.
Thank you.
Didn't mean to spoil it for you.
No, that's fine. I beat it in time. I wanted to beat it in time for The Witcher 3, and I did. So I'll talk a little bit about that later on.
Nice.
I've been meaning to talk about The Novelist. I don't think I talked about that yet, have I?
No, actually, I saw you were playing it on Steam one day, and then the next podcast week you didn't mention it, and I wanted to say something because I saw you had played it, but I forgot.
I wish you had. Yeah, I just totally spaced on talking about that. I played that at least 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. A little more Hearthstone. Actually, I want to talk a little bit about Mad Max Fury Road, which I went to see.
Oh, you went to see that?
Yep.
Nice. I'm interested to hear your thoughts because
Oh boy.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh yeah.
Nice. I gotta go see it.
Yeah, I really wanted to see it too.
We'll talk a little bit more about that later, though. I just want to throw that out there.
Okay. Let's just get right into it, shall we?
Yeah. Why the fuck not, Dan?
Okay. So yeah, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt came out. It kind of had weird release dates. For me, it came out Monday at like 7 p.m. or something like that. I didn't end up getting to play it until like 8:30 that night, I don't think. Launched midnight in some places. I think you guys got yours the next day, right, Eric?
Yeah, I was pissed because I saw that GameStop had gotten the go-ahead to start selling their copies the night before. So on Monday night.
Yeah.
At like 7.
Yeah.
When it went live digitally.
Yep.
But Best Buy, where I got it, did not.
Really?
No.
Not even at all at that hour. Just they had to wait until the next day.
Yeah, I called twice.
Wow.
But I got the same asshole twice.
Uh-huh.
So I was hoping somebody different would answer the second time. But I the voice was the same, so I knew it was the same guy.
And be like, you know what, we're not supposed to have it, but come on in and pick it up. That's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping for. Didn't work out, but whatever.
Yeah, some people had gotten their copies like the weekend before, like Friday, Friday the weekend before it came out. But yeah, I mean, I had preloaded it a few days ahead of time on Steam and was rip roaring, ready to go come launch time. What do you think? I mean,
well, let's start with the packaging. I guess I would be the only one to experience the packaging because this was pretty cool. And I know Corey kind of, I wouldn't say shits on CD Projekt Red, but makes fun of them for being the good guy developer.
Yeah. That's their shtick.
They struck again with the packaging of the physical copies.
I know where you're going with this.
Man, they included a nice big map of the land, the soundtrack, and a thank you note to the fans and gamers that bought it, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
In a world where Batman can run you up to $100 and you won't get certain things if you don't buy it in certain places.
Yeah.
It's refreshing, even though, you know, like they do play up the good guy thing a lot, but they are the good guys.
Right.
I mean, so.
Right. One of the points I wanted to make during talking about this episode is it's the first AAA in years with no microtransactions.
Yeah.
There was no weird, like you talked about, retailer or system-specific pre-order bonuses. Was there any pre-order bonuses? I think there was just the day one DLC, which were free DLC packs. I don't think there was any pre-order bonuses.
I know. I don't think I got any for pre-ordering it because I pre-ordered at Best Buy and I didn't get anything.
Right, nothing extra. I'm pretty sure I didn't. There was the day one DLC, which was the Temerian armor set and like extra hairstyles and beard styles for Geralt.
Haven't they announced more?
Everybody.
They've announced more free stuff too.
Yes,
haven't they?
The next one is an outfit for Yennefer. Or a different look for Yennefer, and the other one is I'm drawing a blank.
No outfit for Yennefer.
No outfit for Yennefer.
I think that's included in game already, Corey.
That's included.
Right, okay.
Pretty early on.
But that's supposed to come out this week at some point, or was supposed to come out. I think it already came out actually.
Oh, did it?
I think
I'll have to check when I go home.
Yeah, because you know I guess it downloads automatically, but also no shitty unnecessary online modes. You know, all stuff we've been complaining about for years. This is AAA title, a huge game, well received game, and a game that sold millions of copies that doesn't have any of the bullshit in it. You know,
it's not the only AAA that doesn't have microtransactions though.
No, but a lot of them do.
Yeah, well, you said it was the first in years to. I don't know. I didn't want anybody to get caught up on that point. I knew what you meant. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Well, Corey, I wanted to hear what you thought about all the stuff they included. Do you think they're just being...
No, it's again, it's like you said, it's the good guy shtick. Video games used to do that back in the day. I mean, I can remember getting Morrowind with a big old map and all that stuff to come with it. And I mean, thank you note is just zero cost to them, but
right. It was a nice touch. I felt like.
And granted, I can't remember the last time I bought a hard copy of a computer game, so I wouldn't know what they do anymore.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, it was refreshing change from the usual open up a Destiny game and see
the first thing you see is an advertisement.
Pack for $25. Well, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Right.
I'll buy it in 9 months when I repurchase your game the second time.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. But anyway, that's for another story.
Yeah,
refreshing start.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about our first impressions last week. Drunkenly, we talked about our first impressions.
I do not remember that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I know your first impressions your impressions now of the game are different than they were originally.
Yeah, I was.
How did you transition from, being like lukewarm on it into like really liking it? I guess.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna have a hard time picking my game of the year this year. Because I already have two really strong candidates.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe early on, I guess it took some getting used to the combat and stuff, and I still don't love the combat, and the controls suck. I don't see how anybody could argue that. The controls are shitty, especially the horse is a pain in the fucking ass.
I don't like the horse combat. I can't get the hang of it. Why? I don't mind riding the horse, but trying to fight anybody on it, I just can't do it.
I don't like riding the horse either. The horse combat is just don't even bother.
Yeah, I jump off.
Yeah, and if somebody comes at me with a horse, I just use the Igni sign.
Okay.
That way they get off it. Actually, they get bucked off it onto the ground. You can kill them in one hit.
Yep.
So that works nicely.
Well, we're on the topic of controls. Dan, are you playing with a controller?
Yeah.
Okay, on PC?
I did try briefly with the PC controls.
I've heard that's better.
It is better. But I had already played it for like 20 hours with the controller.
Yeah.
So and it's easier. It's more convenient for me because I mostly play like upstairs on my tablet, which I have right in my face. But
you've been playing on the tablet?
Yeah.
Wow.
A little bit. I have the Shield controller with it, and it's just easier to do that way than with the keyboard and mouse. Because the mouse especially is a Bluetooth mouse, and it doesn't read the mouse movement as well as the controller move. Aiming and stuff. So it's just easier with the controller.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think the controls and the combat kind of threw me off at first, and I kind of had a sour impression of The Witcher going in anyway because I didn't really care for the second one. And getting through the tutorial and all of that bullshit.
Yep.
And there's a lot of content in that first area. And
in White Orchard.
In White Orchard. But I feel like the game is just so much better once you get into the second area.
Yeah.
And a couple of the quests really just drew me into it.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing is just the quests. When I play open world games like this, I never really give a shit about the quests. I just try to play it.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily always pay attention, and I don't love a lot of dialogue. And I still would say I don't love a lot of dialogue, and I'll skip here and there at times unless I think it's really important. But I have paid more attention to the story and the characters in this game than probably any other game I've played.
Yeah.
So that says something.
That does say something. And me and Corey kind of talked about this when we did our Witcher recap episode, but part of the strength of the Witcher series was the decision making, and you not having any idea how everything's going to turn out.
Yes.
Well, which is awesome. And
I'm interested to see later on in our hangover some things that you chose.
Yeah. Should be fun. Hopefully we didn't choose the exact same thing.
I hope we didn't.
We might have, but we don't know.
And I think another thing that we should talk about too that Corey pointed out, I think it was last week. Surprising that he pointed it out with how drunk he was, but that The Witcher already has that backstory built into it, and it's a character that already has a personality and all of that stuff, whereas a game like Skyrim or Dragon Age is like a blank slate, and it's kind of like a soulless thing.
Yeah.
Where The Witcher's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
And I think that really adds something to it.
Yep.
I'm really glad I remembered to bring that up because I was thinking about that point all week, and I'm like, I haven't heard anybody who's big talking about video games say this yet, and I think it's really important. So I'm really glad I remember to say it.
No, I think you're right on with that.
Yeah, dead on.
And it really adds something to the game.
Yeah, and we talk about doing side stuff a lot. I'm a big fan of doing side stuff. I was fine with it in Dragon Age, but in The Witcher 3, it's just so much better done than any other game I think I've ever played.
It's like a flat iron steak versus a filet mignon.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little meatier. Mm-hmm. It's a little more tender. A little more flavorful.
Every side quest you can possibly do in the game has a little bit of backstory that you pick up through working out, like even a simple Witcher contract to just kill a monster in the woods. Like there was people that were involved and people that whose children were killed by this monster or people whose loved ones were killed by the monster, and you kind of feel responsible for killing it, being Geralt the Witcher, and that's what he's supposed to do. And I don't know, it's just
there's humanity behind it rather than just waypoints.
Exactly, and even if there's a so-called fetch quest, which that doesn't really seem to have any of those, but they're very well disguised with good writing, meaningful side quests is something that should be done. Humor, yeah,
and the way that some of the quests tie in with each other is just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't wait until we can actually talk about that.
Yeah, we're trying not to spoil anything for people who haven't played it yet.
But no, you're right, Dan. I think that just the characters and the storytelling and the writing is so good.
Yeah.
And the side quests that even though there's a shit ton of them, I don't even think I feel overwhelmed with all of it because even though when you open your map up and there's question marks all over the fucking place, and I haven't even come close to going to all the notice boards in the second area, and it's
I've only been to like 6 or 7 villages out of maybe 20.
Yeah.
In the thing, and then there's 2 cities in the second area too. It's called Velen.
Yeah.
There's Oxford, a city, and then there's a city that I didn't even realize was there, but it's further up north.
Which is, I think, where I am now.
Okay, I can't even remember the name. I haven't been there yet because I just haven't gotten that.
Is that
far.
the one with the like Viking people?
No, it's going to that place. That's Skelga. No, we're talking about the second map specifically. It has 2 cities in it on top of, like I said, 20 to 30 maybe small villages and other places.
The Eternal Fire, is that the name of the group? Mm-hmm. They're heavily influenced up in that city.
Okay. Do you remember what the name of the city was?
I don't.
Okay.
I just went there for the first time, like right before we played, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was called.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
And then there's a couple like smaller to mid-sized towns in there. It's enormous.
Oh yeah.
The map and usually that type of game like we talked about is meaningless with the side stuff that you do, but like I said, this game it should be the gold standard for open world games from now on because you talk about a Skyrim game, all the side stuff, like really the fun of that game was exploration. Like the side quests were everything was more or less meaningless, but in this game, like it all comes together.
Yeah, you want to do all of the side quests because they're all so cool and the stories are so neat.
Yeah,
the characters are neat and different. Did you meet the Peller?
I met the Peller. Yep.
What a cool character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's
tons. It's filled with cool characters.
I know
the whole game is filled with cool
fucking
characters.
weird like witch doctor dude with chicken feet around his neck, and he's just got a lot of personality.
His best friend is a goat.
Yeah.
I know people like
Princess.
that.
Princess.
Yeah. Like it's just so cool to.
That sounds familiar.
What?
What you just described, the guy with his friends, or his best friend is a goat named Princess.
It might be a reference to something.
Returning character, maybe?
He wasn't in The Witcher 2. I don't remember The Witcher 3.
Oh.
Witcher 1?
Witcher 1.
Maybe not then. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah. I guess that would be my initial thought.
Corey, what are your thoughts? How many hours? We should say how many hours we are at.
21 and a half.
Okay. I'm about 24, I think.
What level?
11?
I am just over 11. I hit 11 right before I came over.
Okay. Me and you are kind of in the same spot. I think I'm a little bit behind you story-wise.
Main story, I think I'm a little further than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of time trying not to do side stuff, but doing side stuff.
See, I've done a nice mix of both. I did everything in White Orchard. Mm-hmm. And then I think I did everything. I went to all the question marks at least.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Velen and got wrapped up in the Bloody Baron quest. And I haven't gone to any question marks out of my way. Okay. If I've come across them, I'll go to them. Mm-hmm. But I'm trying not to get too sidetracked with that. Because I want to knock out the side quests while I'm at an appropriate level, so I'm not too overpowered for them, so it's still fun and challenging in battles and stuff like that. And at the same time, doing the Witcher contracts to hunt monsters, so I'm trying not to stray too far from the quests that are actually in my quest log.
Yeah, you don't want to overlevel yourself and have an easy time.
Exactly.
Okay. Corey, how far along are you?
Just 6.5 hours, maybe.
Okay.
I have a couple questions though. Does the main quest line scale with your level?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
It doesn't have a level thing next to it. Like
it does.
Does it?
So main quest. Well, not the very main quest.
Right. Because it kind of branches off into places, and those have levels.
Yeah, like the one I'm doing right now is a level 10.
Okay.
And then there's the main quest that doesn't have a level.
Right.
There's a part of that that's below it that's level 10, and then another branch off of that that's level 16.
Okay. So kind of has levels, but also kind of not really. So I would say that's levels.
Okay. Because I was reading earlier, Eric, that it's one of the tips was don't ignore quests or save them for later, because by doing the main story, it can cancel them out. But that's why I asked if the main quest line had a level attached to it.
It's funny you say that, because my side quests seemed to get a lot smaller after I leveled up a couple times, and I was wondering if it canceled them out.
That's probably what happened.
May have done so.
I had heard people that had played more of the game too saying that a lot of the stuff you do in the game, if you come back later, you'll see the effects of your decisions on the populace.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to see how that happens. Well. But go ahead, Corey.
My initial thoughts, and again, I've only played the 6 hours, just pretty much gotten out of the prologue area. I think I did maybe about 1 hour outside of the prologue area towards Vizima. Yeah, after the Vizima stuff. The Vizima stuff, once the game for me up to that point was just like a really good game. It didn't really go to that next level yet, but from what you guys say and from what everything else I've heard says, it's like it gets even better. Because in that little prologue area, it's just I sort of got glimpses of the Witcher game that I love, and it didn't really come together as that type of game that I really loved. It felt more like your Dragon Age or your Skyrim, where just this kind of. There were some really interesting quests, like the Devil in the Well quest I had a good time with.
That was a cool one.
The one where you have to help the guy find his brother, soldier.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's in the shed with that other dude.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
That was really cool. And I guess we're going to talk about our choices for that at the end of this episode, and I'm interested to hear how that turned out for you guys. Yeah. But yeah, it didn't really feel like the Witcher game that we described, Dan, in our series recap. It felt a little bit like it was missing some of that soul. And there's one instance that really got to me, and I don't know if this is just a sign of the times or whatever, but when you're leaving, it's kind of spoilery. I guess I'll talk about it later. But Geralt reacts in a way to one of the characters that I was like, this isn't the Geralt that I know and love. And I'll talk about it later, but he reacts in a way that like I never pictured Geralt would react. He was too quick to help somebody, and I never really took him as that. I always thought of him as this like what's the word? Reluctant angel,
Right.
He would help people if he really could, if he really wanted to, but there was always the expectation of a reward kind of thing. I don't know. But he was just very quick to be like helpful, and I don't know, it kind of bothered me a little bit.
Yeah,
I can describe it better later on.
I think I'm talking about.
I don't. I have the worst fucking memory of all time.
And it was just a little teeny tiny thing, but and it wasn't even what he said and what he did. It was the way they made him look when he did it, like super concerned. And I was like, that's not the Geralt I know.
Right.
But game has to evolve a little bit. And speaking of that, I spent a little time on the forums this afternoon. In the way people talk about the game, it sort of made me realize how few people actually played the first couple games, and how like this is the first massive
Witcher experience.
The first Witcher. It's basically the world's Witcher, Fallout 3 for the world.
Yeah.
The Witcher that everybody will have played and will talk about and stuff. And that's just interesting to me because those are two games that I really loved, and compare this one to it, and you don't see too many of those comparisons in these forums. They're just talking about this game as if it were a standalone game, and people would complain about things, and I'm like, well, no, that's what The Witcher is, But not everybody sees it that way, so
right.
Maybe my expectations are really, really high, but it sounds like they're going to be met eventually. And I'm not saying I disliked it. It wasn't.
I'm kind of with you, Corey.
No, I agree.
Honestly, with the White Orchard area, I thought was good, not great. But as soon as you start getting into the meat of the story after you get out of White Orchard, and Velen, I thought was awesome.
Oh, fucking amazing.
I mean, like really, you're walking on your horse into the town and there's people swinging from a tree, like that really set the tone right away. Mm-hmm. And I didn't really get that as much in White Orchard. I know there was a little bit of that, but once you get into the storylines in Velen, it sucks you right in, right by the balls.
Yeah, and that's what I'm expecting, so I don't think I'll be let down from that point. But and that kind of sucks because that's my only experience with the game so far, and this is our episode on it. I know we'll talk about it a lot in the coming weeks, but
we'll do a revisited later on.
Yeah,
definitely.
Not like there's anything else coming out.
I was gonna say I'm glad nothing else is coming out this summer because it may take me all summer to beat this game.
Absolutely.
So I fully intend on putting. I don't know if 200 hours is gonna do it, but I'm gonna play it like I would play an RPG back in the day. I'm gonna do the vast majority of the side stuff and exploring if I can.
Is there, speaking of exploration, Are there things to discover beyond what's shown in the points of interest?
I don't know yet.
Because that's another thing that kind of bothered me.
Yeah.
You don't like that it shows you all the discoverable stuff?
No, because part of what I loved in the previous games is you were rewarded just by going out and exploring, not like picking a waypoint and going to it.
Yeah.
And that sort of took a little bit away from me. And I don't know if that's something they'll change. It sounds like they don't. Maybe you can find like treasure, or I don't know. I guess monsters would be the only thing to discover, right? Beyond what's shown in the points of interest.
You know who else said that? Eric Kane from Forbes Games said kind of the same type of things.
Speaking my language.
I mean, I disagreed with him on that point, but
yeah,
he liked The Witcher 2 so far more than The Witcher 3. And he that was one of the points that he made. He said he thought that The Witcher 2 felt more purposeful with the areas created. It was, everything was had a purpose in the game world. Which I thought was an interesting point. I mean, I don't think you could do that necessarily in an open world game with a landmass as big as The Witcher 3, but I saw his point anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're right too. It'd be something that would be very hard to do in an open world game, and I'd be very impressed if they could pull that off.
Especially in an open world game as big as The Witcher 3. It's freaking enormous. Yeah. Freaking enormous.
No kidding.
So
White Orchard could be its own little game.
Hey, you're just fucking getting into it too.
I'm just scratching the surface.
It's funny because I was listening to another podcast talking about it, and they were saying how once you get into the second area, like your screen is just full of question marks.
Yeah.
And I didn't really see that until I got into a couple other little villages and started taking things off the notice boards and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just packed.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I see why there's 200 hours in this game.
Oh, yeah. Easily. But just continuing on a few things that kind of bothered me about the game are the quests themselves. Yes, they sort of maintained their spirit. And like we were talking to Dan about the humanity, they that's still there. But I felt like in the other one, and granted, my 6-hour disclaimer, in the other one, there was a little bit more discovery on your own. Like in this one, you're constantly using the Witcher sense to find things and gathering all your clues, and then at the end of it making a decision. Where in the other one, like there could be a clue here or a clear clue there that never called attention to itself. You'd read it on your own. It may or may not open up a dialogue option when you're making your quest decisions or whatever. But if you took the time to do that little dirty work on your own and find a hint about something, then you would be rewarded by seeing that dialogue option and picking up on it and choosing it. And I didn't see any of that in this yet.
Right.
Everything's sort of, if you're doing the quest and you're taking the time to find the whatever with your Witcher sense, you're gonna find everything.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I don't love the Witcher sense thing either, but at the same time, with as much shit as there is to do in that game, and as much time as it's going to take me, I do kind of appreciate them being like, hey, you might want to go this way so you're not spending another 45 fucking minutes.
Oh, sure, and I definitely think they should do that for quests. It's just the extra stuff. I'm trying to think of a good example of a quest I did. Like maybe like in the Devil in the Well thing, like, well, that would get into spoilers, but maybe there's something that you could discover about that and that whole situation that wasn't apparent through the Witcher sense, and you just kind of found it on your own somehow, and you could apply that knowledge to the quest. That's what the first two games did. And
just for them to be a little more selective of where they use the Witcher sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like yes, definitely can guide you through the main part of it, and if you're just somebody who beelines through quests or whatever, you can do that with your Witcher sense or whatever. But for those that like to investigate a little bit more on their own and not be guided through the quest, like me, and which is one of the things I loved about the first two games, it'd be just nice to have a few more of those hidden things.
Sure.
Those are like my two biggest problems with the game right now. I do like, I guess, I don't want to get too far ahead of you, Dan. I don't know where you're...
No, go ahead.
A couple things I really liked was how they auto-select between the steel and silver sword, depending on who you're fighting.
That's pain from the second game.
And I could never remember...
Yeah.
In the second game, I could never remember which hotkey was which sword, so I'd pull out the wrong one throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
Just a little thing, but it's really helpful in this
hit
one.
the enemy a few times, not do any damage to it.
Yeah.
And then you'd have to jump back and change your swords.
Yeah, a little bit of trial and error.
And if I know the controls, it probably wasn't super responsive to put your sword away and pull the other one out.
No, sir.
No.
Yeah.
It might have been
controller.
It might have been better. It might have been quicker in 2, but the controls weren't great. I mean, both of them are PC games, and 2 is just ported.
Yeah.
So, same situation, really.
Yeah.
The bestiary, I like that.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
great. It's
It's a nice
super
feature.
helpful.
It's fun
I've
because
got some feedback about that.
oh, okay, we won't talk about it too much. But you know, if you're going up against a monster, you can just pop open your bestiary and
See what'll help you.
yeah, see what'll help you do it.
Find weaknesses.
Yeah, because for Witcher 2, like I was at that, by the time of the end of the game came along, I was crushing everything pretty easily. So I got out of the habit of looking for the enemy weaknesses, and then transitioning into the Witcher 3, like there's a couple times I got my butt whipped. I would go back at it and then be like, duh, just need to go into the bestiary, see what it's weak against, and take care of business.
Yep.
And it's good to it makes it more useful for you to go around and look for books and things of that nature, like sitting on shelves, because you'll find stuff that will add to your bestiary.
Yep.
So I just found a book about vampires in the city that I'm at, added master vampires or something like that to my bestiary, so I know that when I come across one, I can just switch over and see what I need to beat it.
Yep.
So it makes all that useful too.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
There's a lot of quests and stuff you can get to from books that you find, and treasure maps.
I think, Eric, you have to kill the monster to get a bestiary entry, right?
You do not just fight it; you have to beat it.
Yeah, which could be frustrating if it's your first time and you don't know how.
Yeah, the witch hag, or I'm sorry, water hag, for instance, was a bastard for me. So, and when I finally got it in my bestiary, then I could go and see next time I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
She's the one that throws mud at you, right?
Yeah, that kind of blinds you and freezes you for like 3 seconds or
And
something.
she has
like
a
that.
little teleport, so she'll blind you and then pop up behind you and smack you around a little bit.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're almost dead.
Yep. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Remember how we talked about the golem and how much trouble I had with it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, part of that was I had used up all my healing supplies. So at that point, I had no way to heal myself.
Okay.
Well, I didn't realize the swallow potion.
That's all I've been using for healing.
I didn't even know that existed. So
Okay.
I'm like racking my brain. I'm like looking through all my recipes and my inventory. I'm like, how can I heal myself during this fight? Because I'm not going to beat him without getting hit.
If I'm being honest,
Finally.
Dan, I only came across that out of my own stupidity, or I guess luck is a better way to put it, because I finally ran out of like water and bread and whatever else I was using to heal myself, and I just was looking through and I was like, well, I'm going to try all these potions and just see what they do. So I equipped that one and I used it. I was like, oh shit, here's my healing potion.
Yeah. So that's why I had such a hard time with the golem. I tried him like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Without that, just not being able to heal.
Okay.
And then I was
feel
like,
the golem was easy.
See, I kept getting hit by his charging attack, and I just couldn't get out of the way. I kept using the Yurden trap thing, which would slow him down considerably. But like he kept getting messed up by Kira.
Yeah, that's what I did.
She kept
I
throwing
used
him
her
off.
a lot, so I would stay back
Okay.
and let her do her work. And then when he like started going towards her,
Hit him.
I'd just go up and hit him
Gotcha.
a couple times and back off.
Oh, see, I'm too aggressive.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing that.
Brute force.
I stopped being too aggressive after the drowners
You
killed
can't.
me a few
You
times.
got to be careful.
Yeah,
You really do.
especially because I don't have as much experience with the game as
Yeah.
you guys do. So I had to get used to the combat.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to pace yourself and set up your defenses. And I did that in the second game.
And speaking of the
never as much in the
potions
third.
and things that we really like, the way that it autofills your potions and you don't have to keep making them, and the alchemy set is genius, because that would be such a pain in the balls.
Yeah.
So like if I have my 3 swallow potions and I use 2 of them in a fight, instead of having to go back in and create 2 more to fill up my slot in the alchemy set, you can just meditate for an hour, and as long as you have alcohol, which it's pretty plentiful in the areas.
You loot it from a lot of things.
all over the place. As long as you have alcohol, it will replenish all of your potions and bombs. and anything like that.
Do you know how it prioritizes though? Like if you only have enough alcohol to make a few potions and bombs, like how does it pick which ones it makes for?
Maybe ones you have equipped that they would think are more important.
See, I was under the impression that maybe if you had 1 alcohol, it replenished everything.
Oh, that could be. I didn't think of that. I
never. That way, it takes out the need to, have a prioritization.
Yeah, yeah, that could definitely be. That makes sense.
But I think that's a great thing that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, the alchemy system as a whole is really cleaned up.
Yeah. So after I had trouble, I just started. I brew everything as soon as I can and just keep it in my inventory.
Yep.
Because they're all useful to some extent.
Are you guys still discovering new recipes and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
God, Corey, I must have picked up 10 of them in the hour I played before I came over here.
Nice.
Not just alchemy stuff, but diagrams for crafting
Smithing.
Equipment and stuff. Yeah, there's so many different items.
I think I discovered probably 5 new swords, 5 new chest pieces, couple pairs of boots in that hour.
Yeah.
That I played.
I like that.
And you know what? They were all in one castle for the most part. I just came across this castle and I went in there, and every fucking thing I looted in there had something awesome in it. And there were a ton of things to loot. And I found a Witcher quest in there too.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not high enough level yet.
Okay.
I knew there had to be something going on in there other than just things to loot. I was like, I had just a bad feeling that I was going to get to a place in this castle and I was going to get my ass kicked, which is probably the case. So I'm going to go back later. But I don't remember the name of it or really where it was, but if you find a little castle on a hill just sitting there, go in there.
Nice.
I found one in White Orchard. Well, it was ruins. It was one of the quests, the Viper, whatchamacallit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
That's the Witcher weapons, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had that set for a while.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I just replaced my silver sword from the Witcher set today. So.
Yeah, I still have the same silver sword. I have the original silver sword.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I was so excited when I finally was able to smith the Witcher sword set, the Viper set. The first time I was like, sweet, I finally got some nice swords going on here. It's nice because you really do notice a difference when you upgrade weapons.
Yeah, I found a relic sword. I killed some cannibals, and they had a treasure buried, and it was a really good relic sword that I think I'm gonna have for a little while anyway.
Sweet.
But yeah, tons of weapons, tons of different items, alchemy components. You'll be swimming in items.
Oh my god!
Before you realize it.
Somebody I was talking to was having trouble managing their inventory.
Yeah.
And like weight issues with how much you're carrying. One thing that I did to combat that was upgrade to saddlebags on your horse.
Yep.
That's a big thing. And I just sell things. Like I don't keep it. I know like there's a tendency to hang on to it and be like, oh, maybe I'll use this at some point, but you're not gonna fucking use it.
Right.
Just get rid of it. If one sword's better than the other one, get rid of the other one, or dismantle it.
Break it down into components.
Yeah, go to a smith and they'll break it down into components, and you can look at it and see what it'll break down to before you do it. So you can say, well, is this something useful, or is it more useful to get the 30 coins out of it?
Right.
Yeah. So just sell your shit. Don't worry about it unless it says it's a quest item.
Yeah, I had one time where I hit the weight limit. But I had been wandering around killing things and looting things for probably 2 hours, and I had just had an inventory full of weapons mostly. And once I sold those, I went down to half of what half of the maximum I could carry. And you can keep upgrading your saddlebags. Like I can go up to 130 weight now. Which
so
is
when you get
useful.
the first saddlebag, you can upgrade that, or you need to buy a new one.
I bought a new saddlebag from a merchant someplace.
Cool.
I don't remember. But yeah, now my weight limit's 130 as opposed to 90, I think it was before.
Yeah, I think mine's 90. It's cool to look and see like what you need for certain alchemy potions and stuff like that too, because when you finally find it at some random ass merchant or something, it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
it's like I've been looking for you forever, you bastard.
Buy it,
some stupid flower or something like that,
or make your oil for your blade.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think if there's any other things that I like small things that the game does. But
weather.
Jump. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, visually. I did crash on me once.
Okay.
I was going in up to the Bloody Baron. What's that town?
Crow's Perch.
Yeah, Crow's Perch. I was going into that little village, and I went around a corner, and the game had been stuttering, and then all of a sudden I noticed that there was no ground below me. And I was like, whatever. But then it crashed.
Okay.
But I didn't lose anything, thank goodness, because a friend of mine who's playing on Xbox One, I'm playing on PS4, but a friend of mine who's playing on Xbox One died, went to reload the latest save, and it just kept loading and loading and loading, and like 20 minutes went by. So he unplugged it, and he lost 4 hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I've gotten the freeze on the loading screen twice now. But it's only when I play through Steam in-home streaming. I don't know if it has something to do with that. But whenever I play on my tablet or obviously on this computer, it doesn't happen. So.
Does this game autosave at any point?
Yes.
Because I don't think I've ever died and been, saved by an autosave. It's always gone back to like, oh my god, this sucks.
I think it autosaves like after you complete a mission or something like that. It doesn't autosave very much.
It should autosave when you meditate.
I do too. What's that?
It should autosave when you meditate.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I agree, but I don't meditate that much either that I can think of.
I meditate fairly frequently.
I should more. I mostly wander around with like half health.
If that's me, and then I get angry because I die.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it! I should have saved.
Yeah,
or should have meditated.
I save constantly, so I'm not too overly worried about it.
Yeah,
but I mean, having to save that much does take you out of it a little bit, I guess. And you are in your map a lot. I feel at least I am. I'm in my map, my quest map, quest log, inventory quite a bit, which can be annoying at times, but it's all right. I don't see any way around that.
Yeah. Thus far, I don't have any complaints about The Witcher.
The controls don't bother you at all?
The looting is the primary thing that bugs me. Like fighting, it's fine.
I wouldn't even say the fighting is that bad.
Yeah,
it's just the normal controls. Like when you try to move, it's so fucking slow, and it feels like he's in quicksand for like a second.
Yeah, it's mostly like I said with the looting that I have the issues. I haven't really noticed, but I'm also coming from The Witcher 2. It's a step up from The Witcher 2, so I don't know if that has something to do with it.
God,
too.
That's embarrassing. For as good as that game is and what they've created for the controls to be so fucking bad is I just how?
Yeah.
When they played that, how were they like, all right, this is good enough?
Yeah.
It's funny, Dan, because I'm kind of in the same boat as you, and that's sort of what I was talking about, like bad controls. It's like I've been playing bad controls since The Witcher 1. I've played.
Well, it's one of the reasons I the second one. This is I didn't like the combat and the controls.
Yeah. I've been playing 70 hours of bad controls. This is an upgrade.
Yeah. Yeah, just like I said, the looting really bugs me because you have to like wander around and get it perfectly. I think it's gotten better because when I first started, I really noticed it. But they've patched it like 3 times since it came out.
Yeah, I got a patch yesterday on PS4.
And it's definitely gotten better, I think, than when it first came out. Graphically, too. I was having, not graphical issues, but it didn't run that great the first few nights that it came out. I really could only play it like Monday night and Tuesday night, and then Wednesday night, like I did podcast prep. I was setting up the stuff down here for the stream. So I didn't even get to play it again until they put the graphical patches out, and it made it run so much better.
What are you running it at?
Mostly high, a couple ultra. Hair works off.
Yeah, I hear that's a big one.
Yeah, it looks really cool because I did have it on for a while, but it's a performance hog, especially if you have everyone with the hair works on. And I've heard like it does well for people, but it's better on the monsters. You really see their hair like react to everything. It's kind of cool, actually.
I've got just about everything on low.
Oh yeah, your graphics card's up there.
But the thing is it still looks really good.
It does. It absolutely looks great, even on because the first couple nights I ran it on medium.
Yeah.
Because it didn't run that great, but once the patch came out, it ran way better.
And I have a pretty consistently good frame rate at low.
Yeah.
But I originally first played with everything turned up, and then I turned everything down to low, and it didn't look that much worse.
No.
I guess it's just in the detail.
Yeah.
I guess people have been complaining about frame rate on PS4 and stuff like that, but I'm a bad person to ask about that because I rarely even notice it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me.
Yeah.
But there have been complaints about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Corey said, the lighting effects and the weather effects are so good.
Yeah, they absolutely are.
So good. How do you like the boat? Sailing in boats.
It's fun.
It's pretty cool.
It is very fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, shortly.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
you'll get your first taste of it in Velen.
It's not a huge thing. It's just kind of fun.
It's not Assassin's Creed 4,
no,
but
no.
it's neat to sail around and have another mode of exploration.
Yep.
It's more like Wind Waker than it is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
That was a joke.
You just sail. There's not even any combat, naval combat that I've gotten to yet. Who knows later on, but
yeah.
That's all I want to say about it. I absolutely love it. I could see it cracking my top 5.
I could see that. Definitely.
We'll see. If it continues on like I'm assuming it does, everything I hear says it'll continue on along the same kind of path that it is now.
My
easily crack my
top 10 list is at like a point where I have to kind of look for similar games.
Yeah.
To kick off games.
Yep.
So this one could take over Skyrim.
Okay. I can see that.
Just bringing more to the table, really.
Yeah, it's more meaningful from a story and character perspective, which is something that's more important to me. You know,
the Bloody Baron quest is one of the best things I think I've ever played in a video game.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's fucking so good.
It is so good.
It just pulled me in and just grabbed me by the balls.
Yep.
And I was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I've never played anything like this in a video game before.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. We'll be talking about that during our Hangover episode.
Yes,
we'll get into details on that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I just have a couple closing notes, Dan.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Just a couple things I read. Apparently, they're going to support The Witcher 3 over the next 2 years before they start working on Cyberpunk, which is the next game.
Mm-hmm.
They said you won't hear anything about that till 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good, and to me, it sort of... This game is set up for that, a 2-year lifespan. They've got the modding in there. It's a giant open world. A lot of good opportunities for videos and all that kind of stuff. It's like Skyrim. Because I really think Skyrim is a unique case because that game, people are still playing that game like a lot.
Yep.
And that game came out 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, 3.5 anyway.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I also heard, and this is important, that it debuted at #1 in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, for the PS4 version.
Nice.
For the week that it came out, which is impressive.
Yeah, I don't even know if Skyrim did that when it came out.
Probably not.
I have a buddy of mine, Sebastian, was on our podcast, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know which episode he was on?
Something about PS3.
It was early on.
Yeah, it was
catching up with the PS3 or something like that.
Yeah.
He's Polish.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's from Poland. I think he is. But anyway, he speaks Polish. He's playing it in Polish.
Oh, nice.
With American subtitles or English subtitles. Yeah, so he's like seeing the difference. He said it's actually a little dirtier in Polish.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet it's softened for for sensitive American.
It is a very adult game. Aside from just the sex and stuff like that, the language, and the themes of the quests and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've been pretty surprised at how adult it is.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids play it.
No, there's no reason.
No.
I think I'm going to switch to Polish with English subtitles.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool thing that he's doing that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It is awesome. I never.
It might be worth maybe on a second playthrough.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is my Dragon Age for this year. I'm just going to play through everything once for 200 hours or whatever, and then call it good.
Yeah, Dan. I mean, do you think you play it again?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I'm hoping it can be one of those once a year games.
Yeah.
Like I think about obviously the comparisons to Dragon Age. This game's way better than Dragon Age, hands down. I don't think I'll ever go back to Dragon Age Dragon Age Inquisition. But I could see myself going back to this game.
Yeah.
Because of the differences in the story, like how the Bloody Baron quest, for example. Like, just want to see how different choices would pan out. You know, like
I hope we pick different things.
And that's just an early example. Like that sort of stuff is peppered throughout the entire game. You know?
That's in the first, not even quarter.
No, not even close. As I said, I'm 25 hours in, and I've barely done any of the story.
Would you rank Skyrim better than Dragon Age Inquisition?
That's tough for me. Well, it's tough for me because the thing I like about Dragon Age is the characters. You know.
Okay.
Skyrim had no characters.
Sure.
So it would be a toss up. I would probably rank Skyrim higher only because I would happily play Skyrim again. I've played Skyrim. Was it last year a little bit, or was it early this year? Yeah. With mods and stuff. I don't know that I'll ever go back to Dragon Age.
What is it that makes people want to keep playing Skyrim? Because there's no story to it, really. Nope. There's no characters.
I don't know.
I mean, I know it's about exploration and like the environment, but like, what is it that makes people keep playing it?
I'm not even sure. Like,
is it just the mods?
I think mods help, but like even people. It's just a sandbox. It's a best example of a truly sandbox game. You just do anything you want.
Whatever you want.
So
it's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's the allure of it. I mean, I've always preferred the Fallout to the Skyrim because I prefer the science fiction-y type stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I just think it's a sandbox.
It's also like. Sorry, and just going off what you're saying about it being a sandbox, it's also like a mix and match kind of thing. Like you make a character from scratch, and then you can pursue different guilds and sort of build a persona around that character rather than having making like a warrior and being a warrior throughout the game. It's like, well, I'm gonna make this scrub, and he's gonna do this at first. Oh, but then he's gonna become this rogue, and you kind of invent this own narrative in your head about like your character and how he or she got from A to B, and that's the fun part of it. And the other part is this is kind of a little thing, but the way they did the randomly generated quests. Mm-hmm. It always feels like even if you've played the game a million times, you're gonna see something you haven't seen before.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's true.
It's just a little touch, but it's enough to keep that world feel new every time you go to it. And the difference off of that with Dragon Age is, when you move to a new area, like you get the quest line for that area, you might discover little things here and there, but it's more contained and it feels less. It feels more contrived than
Yeah. And like as much as I've played Skyrim too, I feel like I could go in and find a quest line that I had never played before. Even as much as I played it back, both the 360 version and the PC version. Whereas Dragon Age, I did everything in Dragon Age. So I kind of know how it ends.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's going to change really. So.
I wouldn't even know where to... If I wanted to play through everything in Skyrim, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, you'd have to look it up and start, like... I don't know. Just start going down the list of quests to go through them and get them all.
Well, that said, Witcher 3 is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You should play it.
Yeah, it's not even... it's not even a rent or a wait.
Oh my god, no.
Just play it. If you like fantasy if you've liked a fantasy RPG at any time in your life, you're gonna like The Witcher.
And also, if you didn't like The Witcher 2, still play it.
Yeah,
because I didn't.
Right.
I quit playing it pretty early on.
Yeah.
Still play The Witcher 3.
Yep. One thing I wanted to talk about too, Corey, that I noticed when you were playing, because I was watching, a lot of the big decisions that you make in The Witcher 2, if they don't carry over, there is the opportunity to fill those parts in.
I'm glad you brought that up. I wish it was a little better.
Yeah, see, the way it worked, in because I only noticed this because I watched Corey's game, is after you beat the White Orchard part, you are going to meet the Emperor of Nilfgaard, and a general comes in to quiz you on stuff that's happened in your past. I didn't get that in my game. In my game, he just harassed me about what had happened just before you get into Vizima. He just gave me a little shit about that. Whereas like, Corey, he asked like what about Geralt's past events and what his reaction to them was.
And I, being somebody that hasn't played the other two games, I looked at like a 5-minute back history and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even having done that, it doesn't give you much context as to what you're choosing.
There's no context.
So I tried to remember what you guys talked about as best as I could, and I don't know. I don't know if what I picked is what I actually would have picked, but whatever.
So, Eric, you had to make all those decisions without knowing anything about them.
I knew very little.
That seems ridiculous to me. They should have, like, for people who had no save to import and didn't know anything about the game, like, they should have just given them, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a small snippet.
A rundown of
Here's
what happened.
what each side was doing. Which side would you pick?
Yeah.
So even I wanted that. I'm glad you watched me play that part, Dan, and I did mean to bring that up. I'm glad you did, because originally I started playing with my imported save, but I started thinking about it. I'm like, I don't really remember the choices that I made, and I know you're given the option to fill in those blanks, so I'll go back and at least be able to revisit it there and remember those important choices that I made. So when they show up later, I'll remember that I made these decisions. And in playing through it, they were saying these things, and I'm like, gosh, I really don't remember what I did there. So I was like, I don't know if you saw me, like, pausing the game and going back to the wiki and looking up characters and trying to remember everything. And I think I got it pretty good, because I did still want that, but I just wanted to be refreshed on those decisions that I made. And I'm kind of with Eric. I wish they did it a little bit more elegantly, because those names and places, I'm just like, it doesn't ring. I had to look up pictures of the characters and even video clips in some situations where I just just to be a little bit reminded of what it was and what was happening.
Even if they had like a paper that you read and it fills you in, like instead of the guy reading to you what happened and you pick a choice, like have a little blurb about what happened and then have you make your choice.
Was it Mass Effect that had like the comic book style thing?
Yes,
that was awesome.
And Dragon Age had something similar to that too.
Yeah, I loved the Mass Effect one. I wish they could have done something a little more along those lines.
Yeah,
but because I mean, even like the loading screens has not comic book, but like a
in your last playthrough.
In your last playthrough, like Battlefield Hardline, even though it's a way shittier game, it's like almost like a television thing, like a Game of Thrones or something. And in the last episode or your last playthrough, here's what happened to kind of lead you back into where you were.
Right.
They could have done something like that.
Yeah.
To make it a little better, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, because I didn't know where they would import, where you would put that information, because I just imported my save from The Witcher 2, having just finished it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that was one of the few parts I was tuned in for was that.
Yeah.
Because one of my favorite parts was the lead up to that, the events that happened right before that area, which we'll talk about when we get there. But it was good stuff. So, all right. Any other thoughts on The Witcher before? I mean, we'll be talking about The Witcher over the next
weeks,
however long.
Months. Might be a Witcher podcast for a while.
all summer, probably.
2 years.
I mean, nothing. I mean, Splatoon's coming out.
Batman's coming out.
Can't afford it right now, so I'm not getting it, and I don't have the time for it. Batman's into June.
Late June. Other than that, we don't know.
There's nothing.
So, yeah.
So it's actually a perfect time for this to come out.
It is a perfect time. I couldn't agree more. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with feedback. No.
Nibble bits.
Nibble bits in our weeks right after this. Got to remember to write the time down.
How long was that?
Almost an hour.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. What?
Yeah. I was going to say it felt long.
I'm going to go.
Felt longer than an hour.
Felt good, though.
Yeah.
I could have talked about that for 3
I think
hours.
we did it justice.
I think so. I think we did, too. I can't wait to play tomorrow morning.
Me too. Well, I gotta wait till after work, but
Dude, I've been able to play the last 2 days, so I rushed home after work, got an hour in, but you can't do anything in an hour.
No, I don't. If I had an hour, I wouldn't even start.
Well,
that's Hearthstone time.
I had that same thought, and I was like, what else am I gonna do? Play FIFA again?
Yeah.
I don't want to play fucking Heroes, so I just fired it up, and lo and behold, I came across that castle and got a bunch of good shit.
Hey.
But so tomorrow, Christy works at 7. And I'll work till 2:30.
Not too bad.
And I can't play it all this weekend, so I gotta get time in.
You're filling. Yeah, I got 3 to 11 tomorrow. Saturday is Sophie's birthday, but she works like 8 to 6, so I've got
Christy's
all day
mom's
Saturday.
birthday.
Oh, Saturday?
Yeah, that's why we're gonna be out of town.
Oh.
Nice. How old is she turning?
24?
Wow.
23 or no? She is 23. I think she's
Got
23.
anything fun planned?
Well, she can't decide what she wants to do, so I didn't make plans. I just, got her gifts and make her some food and whatever she decides she wants to do. We might go up to the lake, but she doesn't know. And Darren's coming to visit on Sunday.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, which sucks because I can't really hang out because I got to work Monday morning.
Yeah. Fair enough. I see Jared and Kat signed a lease somewhere else.
Yeah, they're moving along.
Wow.
Yep.
Crazy shit.
Darren's staying there at the house.
He is?
Yeah, and the girl that took our room, I think, is staying there too.
Nice.
Times they are changing.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like it either.
I mean, I'm excited to move. I mean, I'd be pretty surprised if I didn't get a job offer at one of those stores, but I'm excited to move.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to change things up.
I mean, honestly, I don't do anything except
Yeah.
the podcast once a week, and I can still do that over video.
Sure.
So, whatever, you know?
Yeah. I get bored really easily. I need a change of scenery, and I don't know.
Yeah, like, I loved going down to Brooklyn when you guys were there because it was just so different, you know? And, like, I'm so excited to be done with winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck winter. And there's just so much more going on down there. Like, I really hope they put me in Richmond because there's a soccer team and, like,
Oh, that's right.
there's an Arsenal bar there. And that's something I can look forward to every fucking week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And off season for soccer is like 2 months long. It's like a year-round thing, so
That's
that would
pretty
be
good.
awesome. And better internet, not to mention. First thing I looked at.
Yeah? What do they got down there?
Verizon Fios.
Nice. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
So, there's this headline on Reddit, Witcher 3, The Modding Begins.
Uh-huh.
And it's just a screenshot of a modded nude Siri.
First thing, huh?
First thing.
Siri.
Pervs.
We should discuss who our favorite lady is.
I haven't met too many yet. I liked the herbalist in White Orchard.
The herbalist in White Orchard.
You meet her at the very beginning. She's there's that sick lady.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to bang her, and I was hoping you could, but no such. I kept talking to her, hoping like new dialogue would open up.
No such luck.
Because did you see how she kept bending over the table?
Yeah, I think she.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I thought it was like kind of like a foreshadowing, like you're gonna bend her over this table later on, but no such luck.
Nope.
Damn it. Maybe later in the game. I'll go back. And I'll say I've been thinking about this since the moment I started playing this game. Bending you over this table in front of your sick friend.
She's passed out. She doesn't know the difference.
I actually saved her,
I did too.
but
Does that
Yeah.
come to bear later? Do you know?
no,
Nah, don't
hasn't-
spoil it.
Okay. Well, I already told you.
Yeah.
But
Hasn't yet.
there's 4 other women that I've come across.
Are there
who I-
men? Can you get it on with men?
I don't know. I have not tried. I mean, maybe. Somebody probably would have made a big deal about it if you couldn't, right?
That's true. That is true.
Tito, Verizon Fios. Yeah, it's the first thing I looked at when I gave thought to moving was what kind of internet they had down there. So
Out
Really?
California way.
Richmond. So I'm really hoping that's where I get to go. Charlottesville's supposed to be nice too, though. You remember Ryan Franklin?
Yeah.
I told him the places I might live. He said Charlottesville is really nice too. That's actually my third on my choice list, though.
Is he down there?
He lives in Maryland, somewhere. I don't know where though. Doing government work. Tito, when you invited me to party last night, I was watching The Sopranos with the lady. That's why I didn't indulge. I assumed you wanted me to play Destiny, which I do give a thought to every now and again, and I will go back to it, but right now I just can't. Tito, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the House of Wolves expansion, though. You should give us an email.
I still gotta play that. I still gotta play Destiny.
You still want to play Destiny, huh?
Oh yeah, I gotta give it a try. Are a lot of people still playing it?
Dude, my friends list is half Destiny, half Witcher 3.
Man.
All right.
Yeah, if I hadn't been with the lady, I would have gotten in the party with you.
Quiet. Man.
Oh, Pizza Hut Canada unleashes the cheesy beef poutine pizza.
Oh
Oh
man.
man, heart attack waiting to happen.
Oh, that's 2013. That's old.
Is that Marlo?
Yeah. It's her bedtime, so she's miserable.
Oh,
But
it is
she's-
8:30, isn't it?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
got
Tito just sent feedback in.
Nice.
Was that via email, Tito?
Oh, my word. I tried Rockstar Sparkling Energy. It's
And?
natural. Natural caffeine.
How
It's
is
alright. It tastes like peach tea. But it's carbonated. Not bad.
God, Gimli.
Have you guys seen the, not the Arnold Palmer, but the Jack Nicholas?
No.
It's raspberry lemonade.
Really?
But it's in like a can, and the graphic is similar to the Arnold Palmer. It's called like the
Nice.
Golden Bear or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. I'd probably love it. Arnold Palmer is one of my favorite beverages.
Tito sent a voicemail there.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's good to have voicemails.
It is, yeah.
Can you guys still see me okay?
Yeah.
Got a little dim in here.
Well, mood lighting.
Well, I have that Lux thing on my monitor, so when the sun goes down, the monitor changes to yellow light instead of blue light.
Gotcha.
Nice.
It's supposed to be good for your eyes before bed.
Let's hit it, Dan.
I gotta get a drink.
Oh, I better write down.
God damn it, Corey. Every fucking time, this guy.
Gotta try to remember to do all this stuff.
Show notes.
Yeah. Because if I don't do it now, I'm not going to do it later.
Right. I'll try to remind you.
If you don't.
I'll just
okay.
point to it.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, shall we?
I'm ready right now, Dan.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 201 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. We are now in our Nibblebits segment. Corey, get us started with Nibblebits.
Riot Games has launched a new player reform system that aims to curb toxicity in League of Legends. This is good news.
What are they doing?
So essentially, all it does is gives players the opportunity to report their teammates and opponents, which isn't revolutionary. Riot can review the report, and then what they do is they will send the offending player a reform card, which is essentially a screen capture of the offending abuse, the offensive phrase used, and as well as their punishment. So it'll say like, oh, you were a bigot, and here's proof, and here's your punishment.
I wish it would say, like, oh, you were a prick.
Yep.
You were a raging asshole.
And the punishment was uninstall.
Do you think that'll make a difference?
LTP, no.
Yeah, I don't think showing the person their... I mean, obviously you know what you're writing.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't think it will either.
It's unfortunate. I like that they're attempting it, though. Because,
That they know it's a they're acknowledging it's a
yeah,
problem.
exactly.
But in the post that Riot posted about this new reform system, they also included a sneak peek at some of the other things they're going to do later on. So upgrades for chat and ranked play restrictions based on your standing in this reform system. They're going to also recognize negative gameplay, so like feeding the enemy, that kind of stuff can be punishable too.
Huh.
Not just language. And
How
then
about this? How about just not be a prick?
Well, it's
like,
I mean, you're always going to have pricks. But then they're also going to have honors and rewards for positive behavior.
So I like that idea better. I like rewarding good behavior.
Yep. Definitely. But I'm with you, Dan. Like, people who are pricks are going to keep being pricks. The punishment either has to be fierce, or they need to start with this
draconian penalties.
honor system. You know, like, oh, you didn't have a single ding against you. Here's a feature that you have access to that all the people who were bad don't.
I really think that they should just lock you out of the game if you're going to be a dick, and just extend the lockout time. If you're not going to be able to behave yourself, you can't play.
You can't act like a human being.
Yeah. And I get, like, sometimes, you know, out of frustration you'll say something and maybe everybody on your team will agree with you or something. Like, it kind of has to be a repeat thing. Everybody's going to have slip-ups. But if you're repeatedly an asshole, then you shouldn't be allowed to play because you're repeatedly ruining the fun for everybody.
Yeah.
It's really taken me out of Heroes of the Storm. I haven't played that in a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it.
No.
That's my stance on online games too. Like when I can play a game like The Witcher, for example, like where I'm just in my own little world, that's what I'm going to do, as opposed to, you know, even like if someone wasn't an asshole to me, but someone else on my team, like I don't want to see it. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally agree.
It's to a point where I feel like I have to say, well, why don't you try and help him instead of being an asshole?
Yeah.
And then
you try to
starts
mediate
being
the
a
situation
dick to me.
Yep.
You know, it turns into a whole thing, and then next thing I know, my blood pressure is over the top.
And you're not having fun anymore.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Right step forward, maybe not enough at this point, but hopefully it leads to something.
I really can't see them. I know they've banned like professional players from playing.
Yeah.
But I can't see them like saying, even for really bad players, if you're not a professional, like, no, you can't play our game.
Yeah.
No, I just can't see that happening.
Imagine the amount of people that play that game, how many complaints they're going to get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tito said that they have given players free skins for not being reported for certain lengths of time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Skins are a fun thing.
I've always liked that sort of stuff.
I've bought a few.
Yeah. In Guild Wars 2, I had all sorts of skins for my weapons and stuff.
Did you?
I like doing that sort of
stuff.
Yeah,
no, it changes things up, and they're cool. Like, I don't know about League of Legends and Dota or whatever, but Heroes is cool because they've started adding skins that change the way that your abilities look when you use them. They did a really cool Gazlo one where he's right now, his base skin, he's like a mechanical robot. But he has a new one. It's more like sci-fi alien stuff. So when you put stuff on the ground, it's like UFOs and shit.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So if they gave that stuff away for free, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'd behave myself.
I really think that is the best way to do it, too, because, like Eric said, there's just going to be a flood of reports. It's going to be really hard to go through them and effectively punish everybody who, you know, has a report against them. I think the best way to do it is just the people who don't have reports or have very few reports are rewarded.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, and it could be as easy as a skin or maybe access to a certain gameplay mode or something like nice guy mode. I don't know, something.
Nice guy mode.
But enough about that. There's a little bit more info Larian Studios put out on the console versions of Divinity Original Sin. This is a game you guys need to buy. And if I can entice you a little bit, one of the new features, they're going to call it the Enhanced Edition, by the way. And if you own it on PC already, you will get this version for free. Nice. It's going to be a totally separate game. Same game for the most part, just a different. It's not just an upgrade patch or whatever. It's standalone. Will include fully voiced characters. I can't remember specifically, but I know just the main two characters were voice acted. There's a few touches here and there, but sounds like now they're all going to be not all going to have voiceover. Enhanced graphics and sound. That's a no-brainer. There's new gameplay modes. One of them being couch co-op with split screen.
Makes sense.
Which is pretty rad, and I would love to sit and play through it with somebody.
Corey, if
It'd be kind of hard to do. Yeah.
I'd be pumped for that.
Got a 2-hour ride anytime we want to play together.
Wish I could get the old lady to do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Dan, for your stream.
Yeah.
It is a good game, and the fact that it's split screen, like the way that game works is you can both be running off doing your own thing, but anytime there's a decision to be made, a narrative decision, both players make a choice, and then if their choices are different from the other person, it's rock, paper, scissors.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun little touch. Also a reworked story, new quests, characters, and a new ending to be discovered, and there will be more announced probably at E3. So
Cool.
it's looking like if you didn't get to it last year, this is your year, especially if you just have a console. Definitely play it. It's a really awesome game. It was my game of the year last year.
Is there a release date for the console version?
If there is, I didn't list it here. I might have talked about it last
enough.
time. I would guess it's this year.
I want to play it. I really do.
Yeah.
Maybe in that time between Batman and whatever else in the fall. If I'm still playing The Witcher, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll find out when we get there.
This sort of screams the whole like Trine model to me. Like it was a game that came out on PC. Everybody seemed to love it. They re-released it on consoles with new features and all that stuff, and it's sort of that whole thing all over again.
Right.
So, go for it. Do it. I don't know if it'll be as cheap as Trine, but
I doubt it.
I think it was.
Divinity was $40, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I think it was only 40 at release, so
That's not bad.
it's probably gonna be. I mean, enhanced
I get
edition.
my new game purchases now too. So.
There you go. I forgot I had a Best Buy gift card
Oh yeah.
from when I bought my 3DS. The new 3DS.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting to figure out what game I'm gonna buy. I feel guilty. I should buy The Witcher 3 because I'm playing Will's Good Old Games version,
Oh, are you?
but I want to give them my money.
Yeah.
You should.
At some point.
Yeah, once I have it, then I'll give it to them.
Right.
Moving on, Dan, you might be interested to hear this. A new progressive server will allow you to relive EverQuest as it was when it first launched in March of 1999.
I love that.
With some disclaimers, which I'll get to. Apparently they've done this before, but I didn't know about it then. So it's going to be called the Ragefire server, and it's only available to All Access members. What is all? I think All Access is just access to all Daybreak's online games, right?
I'm not sure. I think so. They've changed everything. I think it was SOE, All Access.
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's
Daybreak
what
now,
up
right?
to. It was like a cheap. You get benefits for all their games. I
Yeah, and
guess.
you can all their subscription games you can play.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right. So the zones are going to be as they were allegedly, but they're going to. The report said that the zones are going to be as they were, and they're going to gradually pepper in the expansions in the order that they were released. But I actually went to the FAQ on the EverQuest website and read a little bit more about it because I was interested in it. So what they said is the zones, what's actually going to happen is the zones that were graphically revamped will remain revamped. So Freeport is one of them, Common Lands is another. If there was any sort of graphical overhaul to those zones, those are going to stay. You're not going to get the original. Yeah, but apparently it has something to do with the way their servers host the game files and stuff like that. Like they just can't do it.
Yeah, I can see
easily,
that.
which kind of makes sense.
I was interested until now.
Here's another one that might get you. All the game functions will mostly stay modern. So all the changes they've made. Yeah, so and the one that got me was when you die, your items won't stay on your corpse like they did when we first started playing.
That all the fun that we had with that game is back to being gone. You know?
Yep. Until I read this FAQ, I was considering going back and doing this.
Oh, there's no doubt. I would have played it. No doubt.
Yep. But classes and races will not be available until the corresponding expansion is released. So, you can't be an Ixar until the Rise of Kunark expansion comes out. Which, if I remember correctly, is when we picked it up. I think so, yeah. Around the time that expansion came out, which was the first expansion.
I was shortly before that came out. I think we started playing it.
Okay, I just remember we ended up with like 2 or 3 Brady games, or were they Prima strategy guides?
Yeah.
For Rise of Kunark.
Yep.
And then they had little flavor stories in those strategy guides, and I would take my level 1 bard character, get on the boats, and type out those stories to all the people on the boats.
Really playing the role of a bard. I like it.
They loved it. People would give me tips.
Oh, I'm sure.
It was great.
It's a genius way to make cash in that game.
Little did they know I was plagiarizing. I'm sure some people knew.
Yeah.
But the announcement trailer was really good. It started with the sound of a dial-up modem.
Yep. I did watch that.
And then it showed all the old zones and graphics and stuff, and I was like, oh, I want to play that. Yeah. Speaking of, just briefly, I went back and listened to our episode 200 because I didn't remember hardly any of it.
I don't remember much either. Less than usual, I should say.
And I'm a little disappointed I dropped Master Orion 2 off my list. I think when we revisit it again, I'm going to put it back on there.
Did I talk you into it?
I think it was you that was really pushing for...
It was me.
Dan was pushing for EverQuest for me to drop off.
Drop EverQuest.
Which I'm leaning a little more towards now, but I don't know. I have to think about it. Sober me tends to disagree with drunk me.
That's okay.
Understandable.
I think a lot of us are that way.
Yeah. Yep. My last one, Nintendo announced a winter release for Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. We don't know much about it right now other than you will be fighting alongside Pokemon in randomly generated dungeons. Every time you play, it will be different. So that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Eric, what do you got?
I got a few here, Daniel. So Twitch has decided to ban adult-only games such as the upcoming Hatred. What do you guys think of that? Yeah, I agree. I'm not for censorship of any sort. I know it's their own thing, but come on. If you just don't watch it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I think that game is getting a bad rap for no reason. It's
people
not,
are just piling on it.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I watched some gameplay from it earlier today.
Right.
It looks like any other violent game you would play.
Is it? They're just saying it's worse because he's doing it for no reason.
I don't know what their point is. I don't think they have one.
Yeah.
And it's like that's a good way for Twitch to differentiate itself, you know, in this upcoming fight with YouTube, who's going to be doing live streaming of games. If Twitch kept adult-only games, because I can guarantee you YouTube's not going to have adult-only games.
Right. Hitbox is allowing adult-only games, so people might start if Twitch starts doing that sort of stuff consistently.
Yeah,
I can see people moving over to Hitbox.
It's whatever you can do to get ahead, man.
Yeah,
if there's a few lawsuits along the way, so be it.
I think there's going to be more adults-only games as the genre matures, or as the medium matures, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And you know, there is an age restriction on, you can say your stream is only for mature audiences. I think that would get you out of a potential lawsuit for a minor watching a stream, you know.
An age gate, of course.
Yeah.
It works on beer websites.
Yeah. I mean, anyone can get past those, but that's beside the point, you know.
Yeah, they just cover themselves legally.
Yeah. I don't know.
On to my next one. Some pretty good sales going on if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber this week. Until June 1st, so you better get on it. But you can get, for PS4, you can get Bloodborne or Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin Edition for $47.99. It's steals for those games, honestly. Those are both great buys at $60.
Agreed.
Also, The Order 1886 is $47.99. I liked that game a lot, but for most people, I'd say don't buy it for more than $30.
Right.
And a hidden gem, possibly, Helldivers, is only $17.99. I've heard nothing but great things about that game. It's one I'd like to try at some point. So that's going on. Let's see. To cover the games for gold for Xbox for June, the big draw is Massive Chalice. Mm-hmm. Do you know quite a bit about that, right?
A little bit.
I think Will's excited about that one, right?
Yeah. I'm excited about it. It's turn-based strategy.
Yeah, it's a turn-based strategy where it's almost a little bit like Rogue Legacy. You have like lineages for your troops and stuff.
I love that.
But it's turn-based strategy like Final Fantasy Tactics a little bit.
Okay.
So it's kind of those two game modes blended together.
Did Will buy it early access on Steam?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So
I knew I had it on my computer.
That's how I'm going to play it once it comes out.
I'll probably play it on Xbox One.
Yeah.
And then the big draw for PlayStation Plus in June is Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which was okay.
It was okay.
My last one, PlayStation 4 exclusive Until Dawn has gotten a release date of August 25th. That is the Heavy Rain-esque horror game. It's kind of like a mix between Heavy Rain and Cabin in the Woods, where your decisions can affect who lives and who dies. I guess all the characters can die, depending on what you choose. They put out a new trailer for it, which was tweeted by us, the launch date trailer, so check that out if you're interested. Looks pretty scary, a lot of jump scares and whatnot, so if you're into horror games and you have a PS4, that looks like a buy for me.
I like that everyone can die in it.
Yeah, and as somebody who loved Heavy Rain, I think I have to play this game.
Right.
So I will. And this is a good one to come out right when it comes out. August 25th is a good release date because it's about a month after Batman. Nothing else is coming out, so that's a good time for it.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the name again, Eric? Sorry.
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
I think it was announced a couple of E3s ago.
I wanted to say it was 2 E3s ago.
I think it was.
Before the PS4 even came out, I think.
Yeah.
So, is that everything?
That's it for me.
All right. We got a couple nibble bits here. The new Humble Bundle is a Nintendo Humble Bundle with various indie titles for the Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah.
Pay anything for Guacamelee for the Wii U, Woe Dave, and Mighty Switch Force for the 3DS. Pay above the average, which at the time of writing was $9.26 for the fall.
I think
for
it's
Wii
up
U.
to 10 now.
Okay. Moon Chronicles Episode 1 for the 3DS and Ollie Ollie for both. Or you could pay more than $10 for Stealth Inc. 2 for the Wii U and SteamWorld Dig for both Wii U and 3DS. So
that's what was $10.
Yep.
Okay.
It's good. I'm probably gonna get that.
I'm not sold.
There's some good ones in there. I'm just happy to see a console's getting involved.
What's Moon Chronicles about?
That's the 3DS I don't first person shooter, third person shooter. It's a little bit like Metroid Prime, it seems like.
Moon Chronicles, you say?
Moon Chronicles.
The one that would sell me on that is SteamWorld Dig, but I've already played through and beat that.
Right, I haven't
think
played
you'd like
SteamWorld
Stealth
Dig.
Inc., Corey.
Did I play
Guacamelee, I've heard nothing but good things about.
Oh, Guacamelee's a great game.
Yeah, I've never played that.
Did we talk about Invisible Ink last week, Dan?
You did 2 weeks ago, I think.
I did?
Yes. Yes, you
Briefly.
did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But yeah, Eric, I interrupted you, but good point about getting a console involved.
Yeah, I was excited to see that.
Nintendo of all places too.
I know.
That was
the last one you would expect.
I almost shat myself when I saw that it was a Nintendo eShop Humble Bundle.
Moon Chronicles has a Metacritic user score of 7.
Okay.
So not
Average. Meh. All right. Moving on. A Microsoft support site has potentially leaked a new version of the Xbox One controller, which will come out with a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack to be able to plug in any headset or earbuds. I guess previously the consumer had to use a packaged-in headset or get a special adapter dongle to be able to hook any headset up to it. So,
yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Actually, somebody tweeted us and said, "How about releasing a wireless headset instead?"
Right.
I'm gonna see who it was.
Do
so
they
I can
not
give them credit?
Do they not have any? They've got to have a wireless headset, not official Microsoft one, but
honestly, don't know.
Right.
That was at 8-Bit Platypus on
Okay.
Twitter that said that. Wireless mic would be a better idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's right.
One of my favorite things about the PS4 was that I could plug my headphones into it and have all the audio stream into that instead of on the TV, because I play my video games at night when everyone's asleep. So that was very useful for me. And that's all for Nibble Bits, right?
I think so, Dan.
Corey, how was your week?
Good. I have a lot of things I want to talk about, so I'll be brief with all of them. First, I wanted to talk about episode 200, which was last week. I don't know how much we want to get into about that. Did you guys go back and listen?
No, I couldn't bear to do it.
I didn't get the opportunity.
Your guys' recollection of it is probably a little bit better than mine.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you were a bit more sauced than the rest of us.
But that kicked off my long weekend of fun, because Thursday I had that. Saturday I Thursday I had the episode 200, so we were drinking that night. Friday I brewed beer, so I was drinking that day, and then Eric came and we had a little cookout with the family, and then I watched the Rangers. I drank beer then. Saturday morning, I left for one of my friends' weddings that I was in, so I drank a lot Saturday, and the wedding was Sunday, so I drank a lot Sunday. And Monday, I woke up and I'm just like, I am beat. And I just went home, and we got home we were home by noon after all the wedding festivities were over, and I just laid in bed all day.
Yeah.
And if you asked me what I did, I'd tell you nothing, and I wouldn't be lying.
Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you just need those.
You know, you're like in and out of sleep, and you wake up, and you're like, I should do something. And next thing you know, you slept again for another hour.
Yeah.
And it's like grab the Wii gamepad to put something on Netflix, and then just fall asleep, and then wake up, and it's a little too far away to reach, and then
I haven't had one of those days in years.
You need them every now and again.
Yeah.
You know what? Some of my favorite days with my fiance is when we both magically have the same day off, which is few and far between, and we just say fuck it and just literally lay in bed all day, doze off, come in and out of consciousness, get up every now and again to grab a snack, watch The Office, kind of, in and out of sleep.
Man,
it's great.
I miss that.
I love that.
And speaking of Netflix, it brings me to my next thing I briefly wanted to touch on. I started watching this by my own choosing reality TV show, which is very rare, but it's called The Quest. Are you guys familiar with this at all?
Yeah, it was on TV not that long ago.
I knew nothing about it. So what it is it's reality TV, but it has like a story. I think there's 10 contestants are shuttled off to this like fake fantasy world, fake medieval fantasy world, and they're called paladins, and they're heroes that are there to save Neverrealm, and they do all these like nerdy art, role-playing, tabletop role-playing, kind of cosplay, dress up and knock stuff with swords and
LARP. Wow.
Yeah, LARPing, pretty much, yeah.
LARP.
It's a LARPing reality show.
It's simultaneously terrible and interesting. Just like when they react to the actors and stuff and like try and get into it a little bit. They were doing this one thing. The Queen was watching them do these like night things. They were riding around on horses and shooting bows and throwing pikes at targets and stuff. And the last thing they had to do was they had a hammer and they had to break a skull that was on top of a little podium. And this one girl's doing it, and when she gets to the skull, she swings her hammer and yells, "Forever Realm!" Like this is a real person doing this. And then they cut to her sitting in the seat talking to the camera, and she's like, "I don't know why I did that. That was so stupid." And I'm just like,
got caught up in the moment.
Yeah, I'm like, it was really stupid, but at the same time, like, how fun, you know? That's awesome. That would be so much fun. And these crazy things happened to them. Like they were sweeping the streets, and somebody came in. Like this guy had been attacked, and they're all actors. And I don't know. They just get to watch the scene unfold and play along with it a little bit. And I thought it was really cool. Watched I think 3 episodes of that. So
Nice.
Check out The Quest. It's on Netflix. That's how I've been watching it. I knew nothing about it. I don't think it got very good ratings.
No, I'm
Even
sure.
on Netflix, I think it only has 3 stars.
It was on in like the summer. I feel like it was one of those summer reality TV shows.
What channel?
When no one's really watching. It was on one of the networks.
Was it?
Yeah, it was ABC, NBC, CBS.
I've never even heard of it.
No, me neither.
Wow.
Me neither. I'll probably watch through it though and see how it ends.
Yeah, I think the reason why I've heard of it is all we have is network TV. So, yeah, my wife likes to watch some of the reality TV shows that are on. So I think I don't know that I ever watched it, but I had seen commercials for it advertised.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, it's for nerds.
I think the execution could be a little bit better though.
Right.
Twitch should pick that up for a second season.
There you go. Netflix will save it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Season 2. Haven't been to the movies in a real long time, but figured if there's a good movie to see in theaters, that's been my issue. There hasn't been a real good movie to see in theaters. I'm not really into the comic book movies, and those are what the big action movies are these days for the most part. So when Mad Max Fury Road was coming to town and heard it was getting glowing reviews, I was like, that'd be a good one to see. That movie is awesome. It's real good. It's a lot of practical effects. There's not, at least not very much noticeable CGI. A lot of like explosions and stuntmen doing crazy things and just mayhem, pretty much from start to finish. The movie doesn't really slow down. You can catch your breath here and there, but for the most part, it's nonstop action. But that's not even what makes it great for me. It's a good bonus, but what I really love about it is just like the grotesque nature of the society that the film has built up. Like everyone has like, I don't know, health problems, and everybody's like cobbled together in different ways, like bionic arms, and the one main bad guy has like an iron lung that keeps him alive, and he's just almost dead throughout the whole movie. I don't know, it's just, it does a very good job of transporting you to that world, and it's, when it was over, I was like, I want to sit through and watch that again. That's how much I enjoyed it. Probably my favorite movie of recent memory, for sure.
Wow. Nice.
I really wanted to go see that because to me, like, especially watching the trailers and stuff, it looked like I was watching Borderlands the movie a little bit.
Oh,
with
yeah.
The colors and the vehicular action.
Yep.
That's what I felt like it was going, not, I don't know if it was going for, but that's what it, felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I forget, I was listening to one of the film podcasts I listened to. I can't remember who said it, so I can't really credit him, but he brought up a really good point that there's no shot in the movie that you wouldn't want to frame for a poster.
Yeah, it all looked very nice.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic. And the acting's great. And I don't know. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
Especially, Dan, as somebody who's into that, like, post-apocalyptic kind of Borderlands-y world, definitely go see it.
I probably won't go see it, but maybe once it comes out. I get Google Play credit for taking short, stupid surveys on my tablet, so I'll use that for when it comes out and I'll rent it or something.
Yeah, I know it's hard for you to get away to the movies, but if you can, it's so worth it. It's such a good movie theater. Movie.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna make a point to.
Yep. From George Miller, who's older than God and still making movies.
Yeah.
And he comes out with this masterpiece. It's crazy.
Nice. Anything else, Corey?
I just wanted to mention that I've been streaming The Witcher.
Yes.
So I have
tune into those.
There are some videos up on YouTube. I've streamed last Wednesday, this Wednesday. I'll probably stream a little bit tomorrow. I mentioned, Eric and I were talking a little bit about it. I don't think I'm just going to do like a Let's Play all the way through. I think what I'll do is I'll stream myself playing, and then if there's like a certain quest or monster I slay or something, I'll just cut that part out of it and put up the YouTube video with that as the title. Whatever quest or monster happens to be.
Yeah. Like you should play through the Bloody Baron quest line and put that all up.
Start to finish.
Yeah.
Yep,
It'll take you probably
a while.
6 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
If I had to get
it's a long
to do all that stuff.
Yikes.
I don't know if it took me that long because I was doing other side stuff at the time too, or if it actually took me that long.
It took a while.
Okay.
Hours.
Yeah. But that would be a good one to have immortalized on YouTube.
I'd watch it.
I like that. I also want to do, and Dan, we've been kicking around this idea, but just sitting down like two of us and playing a bit of a game and talking about it.
Yeah.
And that would be, I think this game would be good to do that for certain quests and stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot of meat there. Like we did it for a little while with Borderlands, a pre-sequel, but there really wasn't a lot to talk about with that.
Not so much, and we always played late at night, and I was always like half asleep.
Yeah. Yeah, because I really can't even start games usually until like 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
The only thing that's tough about doing that with The Witcher is I don't want to have everything spoiled.
Yeah.
So like, if I came over here to Dan's while he was playing it, I don't want to see anything that I haven't seen yet.
Well, it would be probably what we would do is we would watch Corey's playthrough because we're further than him.
Yeah.
And
talk
about what he was doing in the game probably. Yeah.
I just don't know. I've thought about that. I don't know how the logistics of that would work because if I'm streaming it on Twitch,
then there's a delay.
There's like a 30-second delay. Maybe not that long, but I don't know. It'd be hard. I guess I could screen capture over Skype and do that. I don't know. I don't know how it would work.
we're tinkering with that sort of stuff. We're trying to do more with Twitch and YouTube, so we're tinkering with formats and stuff. So we're trying to get that all figured out, because I'm also gonna start streaming more. I'm trying to settle on a day for the wife and myself to stream. Man, the dog barking is distracting. We're gonna do Wii U co-op games. So thinking maybe Friday night. So we might even try it tomorrow night, but it'll be at night after the kids go to bed, like 10 or 10:30, hopefully. But she's back at college again for one of the summer semesters, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But I wanted to settle. I want to do it at the same time, like every week. Have it be a routine.
I want to go back to college.
Do you?
Well, college. I mean, she's working full time, and then night school.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to college in that state, but I want to go.
Right. College.
Yeah, no responsibility college.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, Corey?
Nope.
All right. What do you got, Eric?
Let's see. Not too much. I've been watching a show that I've been meaning to watch forever. Finally, I'm watching The Sopranos through Amazon Prime. Is all on there for their HBO partnership. I just finished season 2 yesterday, actually. It's good. I like it. I don't think it's... I haven't seen what's as great as everybody made it out to be, I guess.
Do you think it's because TV's so good now? I think when it came out, it was the only show that was doing what it was doing. And I think now, like, shows are a lot better than they used to be, because that came out like...
I don't watch a lot of shows now, so I can't really say.
Well, I mean, you've seen some of the bigger shows that have come out recently. Like, you've seen...
Breaking Bad.
Some Breaking Bad.
I watched Breaking Bad.
Mad Men.
Blacklist, stuff like that. Like, those are like following in The Sopranos. The Sopranos is the earlier version.
Yeah.
Dexter.
Do you think that could be the case? Because that came out like 12 years ago.
Maybe.
It's been around a while.
I don't know.
99 was the first season.
TV critic kind of person. I don't know. But I love mafia stuff.
Yeah.
And things like that, like The Godfather and anything like that. I really get into. I like it a lot. I'll still watch it. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think it's anything spectacular.
Right.
I don't know. The characters are kind of cool, and the season finales of the first 2 seasons have been just nothing. Right. I haven't felt like... I didn't even realize the second season was over. I didn't know it was the last episode because, like, nothing happened.
Nothing big happened.
I didn't think.
Do you think they didn't know if they were going to continue for another year, so they just kind of left it off?
It kind of seemed that way, because I felt like it could have stopped right there.
Right.
But yeah, because I did actually have that thought, so it's funny you bring that up. But maybe that was the case. It's a good show, though, and I'll keep watching. I love mafia stuff, and I don't know. It's a weird feeling I get after watching stuff like that. I walk out into the street and think I'm in the mafia.
Nice.
Eric, you know what was popular then?
What?
The Price is Right, Charmed, Stargate, The X-Files, The View, Full House.
What year was
Passions.
That it came out?
There's like 6 or 7 seasons.
When it first came out.
99, I believe.
Yeah.
Didn't we look this up like a few episodes ago?
I don't know.
Maybe. I didn't realize James Gandolfini died.
Yeah. Was it last year?
I don't know.
It wasn't that long ago. I think it was last year. Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, my fiance told me. I was like, oh, bullshit. I would have heard about that.
Yeah.
And she was right.
Yeah, I think it was last year.
But you know what else debuted in 1999?
What?
Freaks and Geeks.
Never seen it.
Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Even Stevens.
God. Shia LaBeouf's shining moment.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Sopranos, though, is I feel like it doesn't take itself too seriously a lot of times, because the way that they portray a lot of the Italian guys in it is like the cheesy mafia thing, and I love it. Like, there's 2 of the guys that are like his best friends or whatever, highest ranking guys in his ladder are the cheesiest couple of Italian dudes, and whenever they walk into the picture, I like giggle to myself.
Yeah.
Because he's just got this look on his face, and the clothes that they wear. I love that part of it. I probably like the show more than I think I do.
Right.
But so I've been doing that in between Witcher. Anything else? Oh, the Sabres hired Dan Bilesma as a coach. I think that's a good hire. He's got a good track record. People that I know who are Penguins fans were big fans of him. So that's cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. I applied for jobs down south. So hopefully I'll be hearing about that before too long down in Virginia. So
nice.
Might be on the move here.
Better internet, hopefully.
Much better internet.
That's fantastic.
First thing I looked at, we talked about this during while you were out peeing, actually.
Oh, okay.
First thing I looked at was the internet. So, yeah, I think that's it, Dan.
Okay. Sounds good. For my week, other than playing as much of The Witcher as I possibly could, the other thing I did of note was I deleted my Twitter account.
I saw that.
Off of Twitter.
What happened?
Well, I hadn't really been using it for a while. Like, I would jump on occasionally, but really most of what I was using it for was a time waster. And nowadays I don't have any time to waste. So, like, I'm trying to be more productive in projects that I have to do around the house. So, really it was just stopping me from getting things done. Because whenever I had a free moment, I was checking Twitter.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it helps with my productivity around the house and with podcast stuff too, specifically. It's only been a few days. Plus, whenever I would get on and look at something, like, you'd click on an article or whatever and read the comments, I'm just like, oh my God, why did I do that?
Yeah.
I wasn't getting anything from it. It was just frustrating. And the election's coming up, and we're already hearing about it. So that's another reason why
I like to live in a shell until that's over.
Yep, I'm off. I'm done. And like I said, I probably starting this year I stopped using it as much.
I don't use it as much anymore either.
Yeah, I get annoyed by it.
It's nice during soccer season for me because I can find a lot of highlights on there. But other than that,
that was really the only thing I used it for too. Was following like the worlds in hockey.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like that was really it. Even video game stuff, like I've been going to the actual websites and reading the articles as opposed to just reading the headlines. So
I actually use Facebook a lot more.
Oh, do you?
But I only have it for like video games and sports. I don't have it for like friends in real life. I just have it I'm part of video game groups, and I follow some soccer stuff on there, and I literally can get all my highlights.
Yeah.
It's good from all the leagues, which is nice. It's nice having a Facebook that is specifically for those things.
Yep. And it's not too cluttered with people's stupid stuff.
Right. I deleted one of my good friends from Tyler, our ex-intern.
Yeah.
I've added him and deleted him twice now.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
It really is strictly for those things. So it's actually kind of a nice way to use it.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
And that's really the way you should use Twitter too. Like I probably would be fine with that. But again, it's all the time wasting thing. Like I was just wasting so much time doing nothing and not getting any. Adam Carolla always said, if it doesn't make you money and it doesn't make you happy, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
Which I agreed with in this case. So
sure.
Never mind.
What?
Nothing.
Go ahead.
No. I was gonna quote a movie, but I don't even know what movie it's from. I just heard someone else quote it the other day.
Gotcha. So that's all I have going on.
Dan, that's disappointing.
Why?
Because when people would ask us questions about like computers and stuff, I just send it over your way on Twitter.
They can still tweet the Thumbstick Athletes. I still check the Thumbstick Athletes Twitter.
Okay.
Probably a couple times a day. I mean, that's all I did it before.
They can still get to Dan through us.
Oh yeah. I'm not invisible by any means. Just tweet the Thumbstick Athletes or email us or whatever.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook. I'd be happy to help with
Dan,
computer.
Treat the problem, not the symptom. Addiction.
You
have a problem.
With Twitter?
Yeah, it's Twitter addiction.
I don't think Dan was addicted to Twitter.
Dan's addicted to his Twitter.
Cold turkey.
Yeah.
Cold turkey. Cold
the
Twitter.
Best way. So that's all I did. Corey, what'd you play?
Hearthstone, and I actually wanted to talk to Will about this because he was complaining about never getting new cards through the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize, and it's so stupid of me, for arena wins, you only get goblins versus gnomes card packs. And it wasn't until one of my more recent arena runs I opened a card pack and got 5 cards. You only get 5 cards in a pack. All cards I already had. And I was like, I already had 2 of. So it was just pointless. I just disenchanted them all for dust. So I went in and bought, instead of paying the 150 coins for an arena run, I paid 100 coins and got a classic card pack and got 5 new cards that I didn't have yet, including some good rare cards. So that was really nice and something I wanted to throw out there. And kind of weird, like, reading about that, because I went back and after I had realized you're only getting Goblins vs. Gnomes card packs for the arena, I read through some forum threads and stuff, and people seem pretty frustrated by that.
So that is not the way I should play it.
If you don't have any Goblins vs. Gnomes cards, or not many, then you should still do that, because
okay,
a lot of those cards are really good. A lot of the mech cards are really good. But, I don't know. I would recommend... I don't know what I'd recommend anymore, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
I really don't. But that's...
Just play.
Yeah, that's my one Hearthstone note of the week, I guess. But the other game I've been meaning to talk about is a short game called The Novelist. It's just a short little adventure story. I think maybe 3 or 4 hours. Not very long, but the way the game is played is you are a ghost in this cabin witnessing a family go about their daily lives. And there's a father who's trying to be a novelist, his wife, who is a talented artist, and their son, who's young, maybe like 8 years old. And what you do is you, as a ghost, observe them go about their lives and listen to their thoughts and follow them around and see their actions to determine what it is they want. In every chapter is a different set of wants from all the characters. So one chapter you'll follow each character, and at the end of the chapter, choose which person you want to help, whether it be the dad, the mom, or the son. And there's no like user interface or anything. It's just very simple. You're just a ghost. You can hop between the lamps or just walk on the floor. But if they spot you, I think if they spot you twice, then you pretty much lose the chapter, and you can't pick, if the person who spots you, you can't pick them to help.
Wow.
So even if it seems like that's the best option, if they've spotted you as the ghost, you can't choose them to help. So it's every chapter is kind of a balancing act, and you get to choose like which thing you feel is most important, with the ultimate goal of keeping this family together and happy, because the father is a struggling novelist who's working really hard to get this novel out, and sometimes, you know, the kid really wants to go to space camp, but, you know, daddy needs to finish his chapter or the editor's going to be really mad. Which do you choose? Meanwhile, you know, mom wants to enter her painting in the art show. So you have to choose between those 3 things, and depending on which one you choose, there's consequences. And at the end of the game, it takes all your choices and gives you your ending.
That's cool.
That is cool.
It is really cool. It's really different, and just a quick playthrough, really easy, just something fun. And you do get emotionally attached a little bit, because the mom and dad are kind of on the rocks, and you know you want to raise a happy, healthy child, and you're constantly choosing. You know, what do you feel is most important? So
how long did it take you to play through? Did you beat it?
I did beat it. Yeah, it was short. It was 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, nice.
And I think I got it through a humble. Yeah, I definitely got it through a humble bundle at some point. And I had heard good things about it. What's that?
I said that was one that I was interested in when I saw.
Yeah.
The for him.
It's good because, you know, it kind of makes you think about what's really the decisions are really hard. And I should mention, after you choose who you want to help, you can choose a compromise for a second person. So one person will get what they want. One person will get like a compromise, like, oh, son, we won't take you to space camp, but next time when they come through, we'll take you there for sure. It's a promise. And that's the compromise. And, oh, honey, sorry about the art show. It's just not going to happen, would be, you know, the losing person.
Okay.
It was a really creative idea as a ghost, kind of hopping around the house and helping people with their decisions. And there's like a whole backstory about the house and stuff like that going on.
Seems pretty neat.
Yep, it's cool.
Okay.
Yep, that's it. That's all I played other than The Witcher.
All right. Eric?
Nothing. I only played The Witcher.
Only played The Witcher. I also only played The Witcher 3 this week, but I didn't talk. I don't know if I mentioned. I know I mentioned earlier, but I beat The Witcher 2. I wanted to make sure that I had it done before, so I put in a couple good long sessions right before The Witcher 3 came out just to make sure. And I think it took me like 24 or 25 hours, skipping over a lot of side stuff that I usually like to do, but I had to get it done. I wanted at least the important decisions to transfer over to the third game. So, but man, I loved that game.
Yeah,
so good. I don't really have anything to talk about that I haven't talked about with it already, but it's good stuff. If you haven't played The Witcher 2,
question for you, probably in our spoiler segment.
Okay,
it would be a spoiler from The Witcher 2, though.
Okay.
That I want to make sure that I ask you.
Mm-hmm. That works.
So that's all you played?
Yeah, I beat it a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna talk about it now.
Corey, you had started talking about you went back and listened to last week's episode. Did you expand on that at all?
Not really. I think what I really think we should do one of these times when we're looking for an episode idea is go back and pick the topics of conversation. And I don't know about you guys, but at least let me rephrase what I was trying to say. Because there were times where I'm listening and I'm screaming at myself, to articulate something much better in a much clearer way and stuff like that. So, I don't know.
Was it a painful listen?
I was annoyed by myself, but I always am when I go back and listen to myself drunk. But I wasn't overly annoyed. I felt like there was some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
You just kind of had to wade through the annoying stuff.
Right.
Just feel bad for Will.
Why?
Having to sit there through our banter.
Oh. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of anything specific. I already mentioned how I want to redo my list, which took us forever to get through.
Did it?
Oh, and I thought I had it, and then you guys would be like, well, no, you still need to drop a game. You have too many.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you mean yours specifically?
Yeah. Back to the drawing board. And I'm just like, oh, God. Sorry.
Yeah, it did take a while to poke through there.
But I have no regrets because I drank a lot and I was happy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that's what we were going for, actually, was, because we hadn't had an episode where we all, drank a lot in a while.
Yeah.
So that was nice to do. It's been some time since that's happened.
We sort of feel a little bit of a responsibility to deliver a halfway coherent show, and I sort of gave up on that responsibility for episode 200. At least I did. You guys did pretty well, but
I was feeling pretty drunk at the beginning, but I sobered right up for some reason. I think it was probably due to the 3 sausage sandwiches I ate before.
Yeah. I think I kind of stopped drinking. Early into the episode.
I was nipping on the whiskey throughout.
Yeah, I don't know if I was or not. Of course, I barely remember.
Right.
But I generally barely remember what we talked about anyway. So add booze onto that, and there's no chance I remember what we talked about.
Yeah.
So
I was just wondering if you had anything else you want to say there, Corey.
No, not that I can think of anyway.
Feedback, shall we? Let me just jot down the time. Will's usually the one that jots down the show notes and stuff, so
He's absent. He's not even in the chat. He was.
Was he?
Yeah. He popped in and said nerds or something like that.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah.
Nerds.
I thought that was you.
No.
Okay. We've got a voice. I'll do the voicemail first. From Tito.
Tito out. The loss of
you gonna play Tito's playlist, Dan?
I hope not. I hope I can
just try the new one out.
He said it was 4 minutes. This is it. Open with VLC. I will try to remember not to play all of Tito's voicemails.
Technical difficulties?
No, we're just waiting for my laptop to catch up. It's having trouble launching VLC, apparently. Come on.
Laptops, man. Mine's a pile of shit. It really is.
Laptops don't have the
staying power?
The staying power. MacBooks do. They'll last you a while.
But they're also triple the price.
Yeah.
Hey guys, This is Tito from LA. Real quick here, congratulations on the 200 episodes.
Thanks, Tito.
I really enjoyed the last episode. The banter was really fun to listen to.
Oh, good.
especially the Mass Effect stuff as well. I prefer Mass Effect 3, and I really recommend that. I don't know if you guys have played it, but the Citadel DLC was really, really great. I think where a lot of people like to complain about the Mass Effect 3 ending, the Citadel addressed what in my opinion, I think what gamers actually wanted, and it was closure. And closure doesn't always mean a good ending. So I really recommend, to understand what I mean, I think you have to play the Citadel because it has just a lot of great one-on-one time, and actually it's really funny, and I would put it on par with Lair of the Shadow Broker. So I really recommend playing Mass Effect 3 again if you plan on doing it, to do it with the Citadel DLC, because it made up a lot for the emptiness that people felt. Also, I like to clear the air with Corey and the Last of Us story ending. He did mention and praising the ending and speaking very highly of the story. And I totally agree with him too about the ending. I mean, you just don't see something like that in books, movies, shows. When I beat the game, I just sat there for like a minute just thinking about it, because I was like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? It was insane. Moving on, Heroes of the Storm, I went on a crazy win streak, and before it finished, I think I went 18 wins out of the last 20 games I played. I don't know, it was pretty awesome, and to be honest, most of the wins came pretty easily. I was using Nazebo, Illidan, and Muradin, mainly Nazebo. He's just awesome. I normally use one skill tree I like to use is Envenom on him, because it's pretty much like a fourth ability you can use, and I'll pretty much trap someone and then just unload on them with all my abilities. I don't know how, Corey, you like to level them up, but I usually use that, and I also use the gain permanent health and mana to start off my character. It was so much fun, though. I normally just create pressure on the map and then just kind of move somewhere else, just keep creating pressure. I think my experience in League of Legends pretty much helps with that. Then also the Destiny expansion came out, House of Wolves. It just makes the game better. It adds a cool little Prison of Elders fire wave thing that Halo had. It's a lot more challenging though. And then also they have something called Trials of Osiris for PvP, which Eric, I think you'd really be into. It's 3 versus 3. It's super difficult, but it's kind of like an arena run in Hearthstone. You get a max of 3 losses before you pretty much have to punch out your game card and see what kind of prizes you get. It's really intense, and that's not really for me, but if you get 9 straight wins, you get to go to a third social space, because the House of Wolves has a second social space that you can hang out in. It's in the Reef where the Woken hang out. But if you get 9 straight wins, you go to Mercury, to a place called the Lighthouse, and it only opens up for them. And then there's a chest at the end of the social space. You can open it up and get some really rare gear out of that. It's really cool. I really enjoyed it. It just makes the game so much better. And I'd also like to mention that I have soloed the Crota's End raid on normal, which I was pretty proud of. It was pretty hard as a hunter, but I pretty much, it's easy enough nowadays. A lot of people like to do it as a challenge, and I managed to do it. It was pretty fun. And I think I sent Eric a link. So yeah, it's just me bragging, whatever. That's all I have. I'll see you guys around.
All right. Thanks, Tito. I'm glad you liked our banter on our episode. That's kind of what we were going for, I guess. Like I said, that's something we hadn't done in quite a while, so it was nice to just talk about video games. Like usually we try to stay on topic, for the most part. So it was just nice to just babble drunkenly about video games. And
our favorite video games.
Our favorite video games. Yep.
And I'm so glad Tito brought up the point about me saying how much I loved the ending of The Last of Us, because I didn't say it enough.
Yeah.
I said it like 100 times.
You did.
And I was like,
I swear to God, I never heard Corey talk that glowingly.
I don't think he did either.
But
Not
Tito says he has.
Yeah.
Tito said he confirms that Corey has talked glowingly of it.
I just remember, like we talked about a little bit during the episode, I remember him saying that he watched the condensed videos of it, and that he said he loved it, and that was it.
See, I've always felt kind of alone in The Last of Us love on this podcast, and I feel a little more close to Corey now.
Okay.
Because of his Last of Us talk last week.
Yeah. When we did the Last of Us episode, I had just played. I don't think I had watched the videos yet.
You hadn't. You watched afterwards because I think when we were doing the episode, one of our listeners suggested that you just go and watch the videos of the storylines.
You're right.
Yeah, and I did that later, and I mentioned it then, and then I mentioned it again in our Game of the Year talk at the end of the year.
Mm.
So.
See, we were probably drunk during that episode, so I don't remember that.
The booze. Oh, it's the fucking booze.
Because that was probably the last time we drank, right? Was our
Game of the Year celebrations?
Episodes.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably one or two in between there.
Yeah.
Patty's Day, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Not all of us, I don't think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about it this week, and I think for me with the ending of The Last of Us, I think I would have been more shocked if Joel hadn't done what he had done. Like I felt like if it were me, I would have done exactly what Joel did, which is why I don't think I was surprised by what he did and shocked by what he did.
Yeah, but the video game Hollywood ending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm surprised that didn't happen.
Exactly.
What do you mean? I guess I don't know what you mean.
Well, what you're saying, Dan, I mean, you're right at like a very basic... at a very basic human level, like I think a lot of people would probably do that, but you just don't see that. You don't see that ending that you yourself would give that story. You don't see it.
Yeah. No, I just think I think I would have been more shocked if he had like walked out and left Ellie to die on the operating table, I think that would have been a shocking ending. I wasn't shocked or surprised by what happened. We shouldn't get too into it, but that was my point.
But to me, I don't know.
Don't you think that would have been more shocking though? If the relationship he formed with her over the time, you have been more shocked if he had not saved her?
Not at all.
Really?
No, because stuff like that always goes for the ending where things are just resolved.
The world is saved.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, no, the world wasn't saved. The world could have been saved if Ellie had stayed on the table.
Right. And I am surprised that they didn't end it that way.
Right. I would have been surprised. I wonder if my perspective is different being a parent.
Maybe. Because
Ellie filled the role that his daughter left. And, I don't think he wanted to lose that again. I think that's, again, I think losing a child is one of the worst things you would ever be able to, experience, I guess.
That's a really good point, Dan.
I'm pissed off that you guys don't give the opening enough credit.
Yeah.
The opening was pretty good.
Go ahead, Corey.
I don't know. I don't want to turn this into another Last of Us.
No, but that I wanted to bring that up. That maybe being a parent has something to do with it.
Yeah, and you're right. That's a really interesting perspective.
There's no way I would, because the cure thing too was no guarantee either, because that group of people had killed several other people trying to find the cure. So there was no guarantee the human race is going to be saved.
I guess kind of to me, it wasn't Ellie dies or Joel saves her and Ellie lives. It was more the world is saved or Joel saves Ellie and leaves. The way you describe it, like the way you describe her lying dead on a table, like I never envisioned that being the Hollywood ending. I sort of envisioned it more as like a positive thing. It's all, I don't know. Maybe I'm not doing a very good job describing what I mean, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that...
he brought up the Citadel ending too, and I don't think I had ever played the Citadel, because I pretty much after I finished Mass Effect the first time, I was done with it at that point. Angry at the ending. I don't think I ever played the DLCs after they came out, but I am going to do at some point, hopefully this summer if I can get The Witcher done, I do want to do Mass Effect 1 through 3 playthrough, and see how that goes. I don't know if I'll get to it. I'd like to. We'll see what happens.
I think we'll get a 3-pack.
I will definitely play the Citadel DLC, because I'm pretty sure Will played it, because Will played that
definitely.
game.
I'm almost positive you played it.
Yeah, so he would be able to talk about it a little bit better than we would, but I didn't mind the added endings. Like they clarified the endings a little bit better, like with the add-on. I don't think that's what the Citadel DLC was, but I had heard from other people that people generally like the Citadel DLC too, as a closure to to the series, as opposed to the way it ended vanilla-wise, you know?
I didn't want closure. I was happy with the ending.
I know you didn't. I wanted closure. But we don't need to argue about that again either.
The great debates. We should start making a list.
We've got a few of them.
We should do a great debates episode.
That's a great idea.
It would never end. Dan and I could talk about the Steam boxes for like 3 hours.
We just have to end it.
At some point, we just have to say agree to disagree and be done with it. But the in between, the filler, the pudding of it could be funny.
The pudding, yeah.
You know,
could be very funny. Tito playing some HOTS. Tito was always great at HOTS. The handful of times I played with him, he's really good at any game that I've played with him. So,
and you know what? The way he described how he uses Nazebo is exactly how I use him.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in Venom and you just trap them in your zombies and you just hit them with all 3 of your abilities and Venom, they're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have 2 people in that lane together, there's no way they're getting out of that.
Yeah,
that's what I really think. Nazebo is one of those game changers. Like,
underrated.
You can do so many different things in so many different capacities, and just like if Nazebo is able to kind of do his own thing and the team lets him kind of float, I think it's really effective.
Yeah, I think
you have to pay attention to him. He's like Sylvanas kind of, because Sylvanas and Nazebo are both squishy, but if you don't pay attention, especially Sylvanas, but if you don't pay attention to characters like that, they can really fuck you up.
Yep.
In their own different ways.
Especially if they come out of nowhere. Especially if Nazebo comes out of nowhere.
He's such a good damage dealer, too.
You don't know like where he is, and he pops out in the middle of a team fight and changes the tide of the battle.
If you get in a lane with him and pair him with like Diablo, especially Diablo, because Diablo can pull somebody back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just let Nazebo just deal his damage. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's hard.
My favorite ability of his is the Gargantuan, his ultimate, and you can kill anybody really if you trap them and drop your Gargantuan in there. As long as they can't escape that, your Gargantuan's gonna kill them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good to, like, if there's a character you need to focus on, like a Lily or something, and you can trap her and drop the Gargantuan in there.
Yeah.
Throw your frogs.
Better than a good zombie trap.
Nope. Although when you trap your teammates, they tend to get a little cranky.
Well, sure. The only thing I feel like that compares to a good zombie trap is a good pull from Stitches with his hook.
I always like seeing that. A good long distance pull. We'll be talking about this next week. I think next week is our Heroes of the Storm episode, right?
Yes.
So Will better be next week.
I think I'm not going to come next week.
I think I'm calling it now. I have such a love-hate with that game.
I haven't played it in like 2 months.
I hope they put the new map out for release.
We'll have to play a little bit.
I should, but I probably won't. If I have the choice to sit down and play The Witcher or
Good
Heroes
point,
of the Storm,
Dan.
I'm really not going to play Heroes of the Storm.
You're right.
Anybody in their right mind is going to make that decision.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
we should I'll sit out. We can Skype in Will's friend Johnny, and they can just talk HOTS for an hour.
That works. What else?
Did he hit anything else?
Destiny, House of Wolves.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into Destiny. It just I repurchased it at a time when The Witcher came out, which probably wasn't a great idea, but I got a good deal on it, so whatever. But I'm looking forward to getting back into Destiny. And I've heard really almost nothing but good things about what House of Wolves added to it, so that's exciting. And I think I would enjoy the thing that he was talking about. Is it the Trials of Osiris? Is that what it was?
It was all German to me.
I think it's the Trials of Osiris, so we'll see.
I still got to play it.
And I do still need to do the raids, and I heard it's pretty easy to level up now.
That's
so
good.
I still need to do the raids with Tito.
I'd play it on PC if it ever comes out on PC. I don't know.
E3, Dan.
I keep hearing rumors that it's coming out, and then oh no, it's not coming out. We're focusing on the versions that are already out. So
when's E3?
June
2 weeks.
15th.
Is the 12th the first day of press conferences?
Monday.
The 11th.
15th.
15th is shit, I'm looking at May.
Yeah,
Pardon
June 15th is Bethesda.
Okay. Oh boy. Do we know what time?
Schedule's out. I want to say 6 p.m., but I'm not positive.
Oh, good. That's Pacific, right?
I mean, I'm not positive. I'll pull it up.
I got to work till 3 p.m. every day that week, so.
How dare you?
You know, it's the first year I'm not going to be able to.
Microsoft's is like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, I can miss that.
I'm gonna try to watch all of them. We'll see how it goes. It all depends on how the kids are behaving that day, you know?
Yeah.
And if I can divert some attention for a few minutes.
Just put them to bed at like 4 p.m. They'll figure it out. They'll go to sleep eventually.
Yeah, I would if I could. Would if I could. All right. Twitter feedback. Dave in Boston. Witcher 3 is as addictive as winning Super Bowls. # free Brady.
Dave is a little bent out of shape over the Tom Brady suspension.
Yeah. How do we feel about that?
Tom Brady suspension?
I don't like it. 4 games.
I don't like it either. I could care less that he did that. I say it once, I'll say it again. They beat him by damn near 40 points.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Not just that, but I feel like this is on the officials. If the pressure of the game balls is something that needs to be checked, I think the officials are the ones who failed and needed to check it. You know, if it was that important, the officials should have checked the game balls or randomly check 1 or 2 occasionally. You know. Mm-hmm. But that's just
I don't know.
I like the meme that went around listing all the players who have killed people and haven't gotten suspensions for it. And then Tom Brady is in the corner, and it's like deflated footballs, 4 games. It's like
exactly. That's what the NFL's kind of a mess.
It is. Roger Goodell's a jackass.
Yeah. I mean, what was his face? What's his face? Rice.
Ray Rice.
2 games for having video evidence of him.
Wait, I thought he got suspended for the year.
It was a 2-game suspension. Then the team cut him, I think.
Okay, that could be it. I don't remember.
Yeah.
See, half the problem is I could give 2 shits.
Yeah.
About anything, really.
Yeah.
So I just don't pay any attention.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know.
You just watch your team, and that's it. That's that's what I do.
I know that some of these guys might not be favorable,
right,
in any situation,
right.
You know, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's something you deal with.
Yeah. Mike in Minnesota says, "I'm in love with The Witcher." That's my feedback.
I think he nailed it.
As are we, man.
I think he nailed it with that.
Yeah. We could have just started our main segment and said, "We're in love with The Witcher. Let's move on."
As are all of you.
Yeah. Good stuff. Ryan in Iowa says, "I finally pulled the trigger and got Fire Emblem Awakening for $30 plus tax. I'm renting Valerie's 3DS for another 80 hours. Such a good game."
Yeah.
I absolutely love Fire Emblem Awakening. That's one of the games that I wish I didn't trade in because I probably would play it once a week, you know? Just the way the relationships with the characters and having children, so good. So good.
Nice.
I hope you like it, Ryan. I think you will. It's good stuff. Yeah, I think I put like 42 hours in my first playthrough, and I was like most of the way through second playthrough. Another like 30 some odd hours or something. And then he says, "Until Dawn is a must buy for me. Very excited. We need another good horror game for PS4.
Yeah, agreed.
You guys have to be talking lots of hockey, I hope. The West Series, fucking epic, and lots of Rangers talk, I bet. Corey?
This series against Tampa has been one of the, like, most back and forth, like, schizophrenic, weird, unpredictable series I think I've ever seen the Rangers play.
Yeah.
It's like they'll get shut out and then they'll score 7 goals and then, you know, I don't know. It's just I can't figure it out. And it's gotten
feeling about tomorrow.
I'm actually feeling pretty good about tomorrow, but I hate that I just said that because now I feel like I jinxed it. I haven't been watching.
Huh?
Which game was it? Game 5? They won like 5-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
5-1. Yeah, was it? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But when I don't watch is when they score goals, and when I do watch is when Tampa scores. So I didn't watch the last game, Game 6. I watched for like 15 minutes or something, but then I was just so tired I went to bed, and then I woke up and saw it was 7-4, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be watching Game 7.
You have to watch Game 7.
I know. I have never been a superstitious person either. I've never believed in that, but I don't know.
I'm not particularly superstitious either, but I find if I don't feel good about my team and them winning games, that's when they better and surprise me.
Yep. Here's why I think the Rangers will pull it out tomorrow is they've been lighting up Ben Bishop, and that means Tampa can't play their game. If Tampa can't play their game and they have to play defense, I mean, they're not going to score goals.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just what I think. And Henrik Lundqvist, Game 7 at home at MSG, unbeaten, I think is the stat.
Hammer and Hank.
Yeah.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
there's a first for everything.
Right. I haven't watched any hockey, I don't think, since the early second round. I watched Tampa Bay and Detroit game, but other than that, I haven't watched. I've barely paid any attention. I just don't care. You know,
I don't either. I checked the scores, but whatever.
I don't even remember to do that. I forgot that the Rangers were playing the other night, and I checked at 4:00 in the afternoon the next day. I was like, oh, hey, the Rangers won, because I'm not on Twitter too, so that I'm definitely more out of the loop than I usually am.
I checked in the morning actually because I had hung out with Corey and Will for the first period.
Right.
So I was interested to see how it turned out.
Yeah, after you left, Eric, we turned it off, and then they
really
lit it up. Yeah.
That's funny.
And I know the West Series is 3-3 too, so that'll be going to Game 7.
I know it.
Who's home ice in that?
Anaheim.
Oh, good.
So,
actually, I don't fuck both those teams.
that's kind of how I feel too. I don't want to see either. They've both been good for a long time. I wanted to see someone new. Calgary. I would have been thrilled with Calgary going. But
who would you rather want to play?
Well, Anaheim, because my team was beaten by the Blackhawks early in the.
Yeah.
I just don't think Anaheim is as solid top to bottom. I know they've got
experience,
some bruisers. Too. Yeah, the Blackhawks were more experienced.
Yep.
So I would rather face them.
They have that sort of Rangers ability to find a way to win games.
Yes,
that they shouldn't.
Yep, absolutely.
But still, I think we can all agree that Corey Crawford video from a couple years ago when they won the cup and he was hammered up.
Yep, pretty great.
Still pretty great video.
At the parade?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Biggest fucking bunch of beauties in the league.
Talk about FIFA and the arrests.
Oh, God. FIFA's a mess. I honestly don't. I know a little bit about it. I guess there's 14 guys that got arrested for basically bribes.
I've heard it's fairly corrupt.
Oh, big time. It's always been corrupt. The president of FIFA is a piece of shit. And he actually is not one of the people that got arrested.
Of course.
I wish he was. The re-election is supposed to be tomorrow for president. He's 80 years old. It gets to a point where you got to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the game needs to grow.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to. He has nobody to answer to.
Right.
So, I mean, from the top, it just, the shit trickles down.
Right.
And people are taking bribes to see what country is going to get the World Cup, basically. And that's what happened. Some of the bribes were up to $1.5 million for a vote.
Wow.
Whose country is going to get
vote.
Yes.
That's insane. That stuff is probably more rampant in all sports than we realize, though.
But it's really bad in soccer.
Is it?
Yeah, because I feel like there's just so many freaking leagues and just so much that can happen.
There's more opportunity for corruption.
And there's so many different countries involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That care about soccer.
Right.
Or football, whatever.
That's their thing is footy.
And it's just ridiculous that countries I don't know, is it pronounced Qatar? Qatar, whatever.
I always pronounce it Qatar. Some people say Qatar, but that sounds stupid.
That a country like that is going to have to pour billions of dollars into building stadiums. You've seen it with Brazil. They are having terrible economical stuff going on down there, and they just poured all this money into building stadiums and parking lots that are just not used anymore.
Yeah.
What a fucking waste.
Yeah.
And they're getting these things because of the bribes. When a country like the United States that should be a viable candidate has how many stadiums built across the country?
Yeah.
32 NFL teams.
Yeah.
That can house 70,000 people.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
Is losing on a bid to a country like Qatar, especially on top of all of that bullshit, the weather problem there.
It's a desert.
Yeah, it's awful. It's a terrible climate.
I saw that the deaths for the construction workers is through the roof. For that.
I think it's at 4,000 people already.
Yeah.
It's insanity.
Yeah.
But money rules everything, so they don't care that 4,000 people have died.
Yeah.
Because they've got $1.5 million in their pocket. Hopefully they all go the fuck to jail.
Yeah.
And hopefully it changes. It won't.
Yeah.
I look at it the same as I look at government. It's not going to change.
No.
That's why I don't vote.
Yeah, why bother?
Fuck it. I'll play The Witcher.
Replace one turd with another turd.
Exactly. The great South Park episode.
Douche and turd. Watch it.
Yep.
If you're feeling excited for this year, the next year's election, watch Douche and Turd.
I don't. We don't even need to get into that. But yeah, Ryan, I mean, I think everybody that's a soccer fan can agree that it sucks that stuff goes on. It really does.
Yeah.
You see in like some of the leagues, like I think it was I don't know if it was the Italian league or something, but a goalie just clearly pulls his hand away from a ball that he should have saved and lets it go in.
Right.
Like, it's match fixing.
Yeah. Took a bet.
Yeah.
Or had money bet on the game.
Whatever the
for
case
his team
is.
to lose.
Yeah. So it's frustrating that stuff goes on.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully they get what they deserve.
Yeah.
And hopefully the U.S. gets awarded a fucking World Cup because we can do it. You know?
Yeah.
And we'll still use our stadiums.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The UK has a lot of football stadiums, you know?
Yeah.
Some big ones around London, no doubt.
Oh, my God. There's 3 huge teams in London.
Yeah. There's better places.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
Anyway.
Russia's involved in that, too.
Okay.
Russia is the next World Cup.
Oh.
And then
2018?
Yes, 2018. And then 2022 is the
Qatar.
one for Qatar.
Gotcha.
That already 4,000 people have died.
Yeah, who knows by 2022 how many more.
Ugh. That's infuriating.
Yeah. Okay. If you're wondering, EA finally came around and is now gender equal in the FIFA game.
Yeah, that's awesome. I didn't. This just came out today, I think,
Yeah.
and I don't know if they added a lot of women's team.
I just heard national teams.
All of them.
I just heard national teams.
Okay, because I think for sure is that they added the U.S. women's team.
Okay,
which is awesome.
Yeah, I think they added national teams like in
For
general. Like I don't know, maybe the ones that compete in the women's
like
World Cup,
the better known ones. That's cool.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, the U.S. women's team is better than the men's team. Why shouldn't they have a fucking spot in FIFA?
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I got no problem with it. I'll play with them.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think it's awesome. I guess a lot of people are pissed off about it, and I don't know why. Why anybody would be against that is beyond my realm of thought. But
right.
I'd have to look more into what their arguments were for it.
There really is no arguments
can't
against
think of
it.
what one would be. But
that would be stupid. Why do you care?
Yeah.
If you don't want to play as a women's team, just don't play as a women's team.
Exactly. Why does anybody care about anything?
Right. I just care about nothing. So
exactly.
That's all
yeah, U.S. women's team kicks ass. I will use them. I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
excellent. I closed the feedback on accident. My tablet's being a jerk. This is from Facebook, from Travis, who says, "Hey athletes, I finally broke down and bought the Mario Kart 8 DLC last week. I have to say, those new tracks are pretty awesome. Nintendo has really figured out how to do DLC, at least for Mario Kart anyway. I think my favorite 2 tracks are the Zelda one and the Excite Bike one. The changes they made to the music and coins on the Zelda track is awesome. I also like the Neon Bowser one too. I also bought The Witcher 3 the other day. Dang, that game is epic. Every single quest feels like they matter. There's a quest I just completed called Family Matters. I don't want to spoil it, so I'll say that it might be one of the most meaningful quests I've ever completed in any RPG. That is a Bloody Baron quest line. We're going to be talking about that later. And he's absolutely right.
fucking awesome.
I couldn't agree more. It was fantastic. Corey, I don't want to build this too much up for you and have you be disappointed by it, by the way.
Build what up?
The Bloody Baron quest line.
I didn't hear you.
Better that way. Anyway. Also, that collectible card game called Gwent.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't talk about Gwent. I didn't really play Gwent that much.
I specifically did not play it at all.
Yeah. I played one match. I couldn't really figure it out, and then I wanted to move on. I don't need another thing to keep me tied down.
Which is exactly why I didn't play it.
So, that game is crazy addictive. I've never played a collectible card game before other than Sayback and Knights of the Old Republic, but I'm hooked on Gwent. Tried playing Magic once, but I'm too damn old and didn't have the patience for it. I kind of wish CD Projekt Red would just release Gwent to be played on mobile devices. I think I would actually spend money on it. Anyway, once again, you guys have an awesome podcast. I really enjoy listening to it, so keep it up. Thanks. Travis.
Yes. You know,
that's not the first time I've heard that CD Projekt Red should release Gwent as a card game or as a like a Hearthstone.
Is Gwent new to The Witcher 3?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Everyone loves it.
Which is why I don't want to play it.
Right.
Maybe later.
Right.
Maybe. I don't know, but I heard it described in another podcast. It sounds pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, part of my problem, I played one match. Part of my problem is I didn't understand it. I'm sure once I figured out the rules and stuff, I would love it. But again, I don't want something else to distract me from the awesome storyline and quests and stuff. The side quests, you know?
Yep.
So I'm nervous to get into it.
Idaho Jake in the chat says he does not like Gwent.
Okay.
I'm not a fan either, guys.
No.
Why not?
I don't know. I play a lot of different
True to Hearthstone
card games, and this one, I don't know. I haven't really fully wrapped my head around it yet, so that's why I didn't say anything. But I'm not a huge fan right off the bat.
Okay.
But we'll see. You know, I'll give it more time and mess around with it, and maybe it'll click. But
right.
Too random.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's. I don't feel skill.
I have no idea how it works, so
I don't either.
Couldn't even tell you. Email. Idaho Jake says, "Hey, just want to congratulate you guys on 200 episodes. What games?"
This is from last week.
This is from last week.
Yes.
Okay. What games do you think would be the best and worst for the new virtual realities coming out?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. Yeah, I think like racing games, it's going to do a lot for. Piloting games, it's going to do a lot for.
Whatever that new game that was announced a few weeks ago that they actually said was going to be for Morpheus with the dinosaurs in it.
Oh.
It's an open world survival dinosaur game.
Yeah.
That game.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Dying Light.
Yeah.
Would be awesome. I think horror games would be incredible. Yeah. I wouldn't be able to play them myself.
Well, I would have to wear diapers.
I just couldn't. I don't think I could handle it mentally.
Okay.
Like my nerves would just break down.
Yeah, that'll be fun when we can stream that stuff.
Dan, I can't. I don't think I could do it. But I think horror games would be amazing.
Yeah. No, I think like I said, racing and piloting games translate well because, you know, for me, like when I'm playing games, I'm sitting in a chair. When you're driving, you're sitting in a chair, like looking around. Same thing with piloting. Like, I don't know, first person stuff might be weird, like that you're moving and like in the headset. I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. But they make that Virtuix Omni, that treadmill thing that you can run and spin around in too.
Yeah.
So I mean, that would be really cool to have for Dying Light.
Yeah.
You know, running from zombies. It would be great for getting in shape, I think.
Sure.
Because you spend the whole time running away from zombies. So that would be a cool thing if you got the room and the money for it.
Like, you know what would be fucking awesome? Pod Racer.
Pod Racer would be great. They would need to do a remake, I think.
Well, yeah. Updated Pod Racer VR.
Yeah. You know, EA's not going to do it, though.
Well, no. Of course not.
Because they don't want to. They hate money.
Or you remember Wave Race 64?
Wave Race 64 was underrated.
Oh, very.
That was a great game.
Very much so.
Corey?
Golf.
Golf?
Golf? You just fucking go play golf.
It's too expensive.
It is expensive.
I do agree with that. Did you see they made a foot golf course at Traditions?
Yeah, that seems kind of cool.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun.
It's like soccer and golf mixed together.
You kick a ball at the thing instead of using golf clubs.
Do you have to wear special shoes?
No.
It's something I'd be way better at.
Yeah.
Seems silly.
I think it'd be fun.
I think it'd be fun too.
Oh, I mean, the reason I play golf is to drive the golf carts and drink beer.
Yeah.
So if I can still do that, yeah, it'd be fun.
I don't know if there's any golf carts. You probably just walk.
Yeah, it's the holes are much shorter.
Yeah. Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, golf. Yeah, I just am so bad at golf that I cannot, in my head, wrap around spending $40 for something I'm fucking terrible at.
Yeah, I golfed when I was able to for free.
Yeah.
And a little bit when I was a little bit younger, like 5 or 6 years ago. when I was better at it, I didn't mind going somewhere, but it's still $40 for 18 holes is a bit much.
Yeah.
Even when I was like not even decent, but not as terrible as I am now at golf. But yeah. Any other thoughts on what'll be good on VR, Corey?
What about sports game, like other sports games?
I don't know.
No.
They'd have to be first person.
Too much going on.
It would have to be first person. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to think of an example.
Well, I mean, NHL had first person.
Did it? I thought it was third person.
No,
there was a first. Maybe not in the more recent ones, but I know there was.
He's talking about NFL 2K5.
Yeah, it was one of the NFL games that had first person mode. It was
an 2K5.
old one. Yeah,
that would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Scary.
Yeah.
They could make a special sports game for first person.
I mean, anything. You guys already talked about it a little bit, but anything where you're sitting somewhere and you're just turning your head to look around.
Yeah.
Wonder about how on rails games would work.
I don't know. Yeah, I just think the piloting and racing, it's just an easy fit,
Agreed.
There's not that weird moving but not moving, mess with your head type of thing.
I think No Man's Sky is a perfect game for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
It's got dinosaurs in space. What else do you want?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I want for nothing but that.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my review. This is Jake still. Here's my review on The Witcher 3. First off, of course, it is gorgeous. The sunset and sunrise is breathtaking, but it's the little things that I noticed, like hair flow, is pretty sick in the way the grass and trees blow in the wind. I have never seen such detail. When the wind blows or the rain falls, I feel like I'm there. I also notice the lighting. When you go into a wooded area, you feel like you are there in the forest. Now, I know Eric complained about the combat, and I told him you have to treat it like Dark Souls, where you go into a battle, expect to lose, and use dodge a lot. Also in combat, stay on your horse as much as you can because you have a better chance for a one-hit kill. And how much fun is it to dismember someone? The dismemberments are awesome, too. I agree with that.
Yeah, they are.
What?
I can't call them awesome because there's another game that made them awesome, and this doesn't really hold up to the Shadow of Mordor.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, Shadow of Mordor's dismembers are way better.
Disagree.
I don't know how you could disagree with that. I'm not even going to agree to disagree on that.
I think the only game with dismemberment that I would put it with is Rise.
Rise was good, yeah.
I don't even remember Shadow of Mordor dismembering.
You're right, the dismemberments were good. I don't know. I think because it doesn't happen as much in The Witcher, I think it's more satisfying when it does happen. There was a lot of dismembering in Shadow of Mordor.
That could be it.
Maybe cheapened it a little bit.
No.
But
nope.
When you in The Witcher, when you chop someone in half, like on the torso, and just the way the body falls, it looks so cool.
I love it.
I love it.
Actually,
too.
I kept my Griffin trophy on because it gives me a bigger chance to dismember.
Yeah, it moves up to like 10% or something like that, I think.
Yep.
Where was I? Potions, magic, and bombs will also be your friend. So read the bestiary because I am a true badass because of it. On to the massive world. Holy hell, is it a big, beautiful place? And thank God for fast travel. My goal is to make all the question marks. So go away. So I have a lot of work to do.
Oh boy, do you?
Yeah, I'm super into the story, and I like how you get to play Siri and storytelling. That's another thing we didn't talk about. I didn't want to spoil that for Corey.
I knew that. We talked about that.
I know, but I didn't want to talk specifically about it.
Oh.
I kind of have a crush on Siri, I'll be honest. So
I wanted to talk about
that.
our favorite women so far.
Oh, like who the best looking was?
Well, total package.
Okay, I have a crush on Siri. I'll say
Siri's
that.
the one for you, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I am super into the story, and I like how you get to play a Siri in storytelling. I'll give one helpful hint. Loot everything. You never know what you will find. Well, that's it for me. Thanks, Jake. Glad you're liking it as much as we are.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, I'm going to be playing The Witcher for a while because I'm not gonna rush through it like I have been for games. I'm gonna play it like I did Dragon Age and just do everything that I feel like you need to. I probably won't do every question mark, but I'm gonna do a lot of them, and I'll bounce back and forth.
I don't know how you could do all of them. Holy
There's
shit.
a lot. There really is, and the map is huge. Their claim of 200 hours of gameplay is probably not that far off. If you want
to
do everything,
DLCs that are new areas
and new missions and stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of content.
Surely somebody's done everything by now, right?
Well, probably.
I would think so. Check the how long to beat.
That's what I'm doing
I think
right
last time I saw it was like
now.
100. For completionists, it was like 145 hours or something like that.
Completionist, 151 hours.
Okay.
That's mediocre for accuracy, though.
Okay. I mean, the longer you go, the closer those will get, but
Yeah.
that seems right. Bryce in Minnesota. Hey, Thumbstick athletes. Congratulations on reaching episode 200, and thanks for sharing your top 10 lists. In episode 199, Corey had mentioned the possibility of a Witcher movie sometime in the future. My question to you guys is this. Would you rather have them make a Witcher movie or a Witcher TV series? I personally think it would make a better Netflix, AMC, or HBO series. You guys remember Hercules, Legendary Journeys, and Xena Warrior Princess? The Witcher seems like it would be that type of a show. Thanks, Bryce from Minnesota. Thanks, Bryce. Yeah, we did our top 10 lists. I don't know if how long you've been listening, but also for episode 1 and 100. So you can, if you want, you can go back and listen and see how our games have changed over the course of almost 4 years now. Pretty significantly, I would think, especially from episode 1 to episode 100. I think my list would have changed more than episode 100 to 200. If I had to guess, because I only changed a handful of games from 100 to 200.
I think mine changed more from 200 or 100 to 200.
100 to 200.
If I had to guess.
Okay. Corey, Witcher movie. Would you rather say movie or TV series?
I think he brings up a good point, especially what we were talking about with TV earlier.
Yeah.
And he compares it to Xena and Hercules, which I totally remember, because I used to watch those and want so much more out of them than I got.
Yeah.
Just because it was that kind of setting that I wanted.
Yeah.
But I think a Witcher series that's less 90s Xena, Hercules, and more 2000s Game of Thrones-y, which it fits well. But even like it wouldn't even have to be serial like Game of Thrones. It could just be one story and then another story the next week and then another story the next week.
The Witcher moving on to a new area and taking on a new contract. You know, it would be contract based. Like,
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, he comes in this week and does this contract to kill this monster, and
Yep.
that would be awesome. That's
more,
right.
Single camera cinematic, not like a multi-camera crappy TV show.
Yeah, definitely.
Jake in the chat says HBO plus Witcher equals magic.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, HBO or I mean, we talk about the Netflix original series. They're all really good. Marco Polo I watched, which was really good. AMC is the same thing with their TV series.
I'd rather see a series, I think, than a movie.
Yeah, because I think it's such a rich world that one movie wouldn't do it justice. It wouldn't do it justice. Yep. Absolutely. Because they're pressed for time with showing things. You know, it would have to be about a 2-hour movie. You know,
and there's characters that are already built that you could use in the series, and you'd want to expand on them. Yep. You know,
there's a lot of material to draw from. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it for feedback.
Good question.
That is a good question. But I'm in agreement now. I think it would definitely make a better TV series.
Sure.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
No.
Corey?
I don't think so.
Question of the week?
Do have a question of the week, and it was inspired by the Nintendo Humble Bundle. If you could buy... Oh, wait, I phrased it better. I already put it up on the website. What other item or industry would work best for Humble Bundle style pay-what-you-want fundraisers?
Interesting.
That's cool. Okay. Sounds good. I don't have my card again. If you want to find us, the best place is our website, www.thumbstickatheltes.com. Our Twitter feed, links to our Twitter feed, our Facebook, our YouTube, Instagram, all on there. So if you want to find us, that's the best place. You can email us feedback at thumbstickatheltes@gmail.com. Man, it's been a long day. My brain at this point just shuts down.
The easiest thing, and if it were me, what I would do, you're on the go, actually save this phone number to your cell phone right now, is the Thumbstick Athletes voicemail inbox. You know, you're driving in your car, if you're allowed to use your cell phone, or you're at work and you think,
hands-free device.
I have a question or interesting piece of information. 607 527 0547.
Yep. That's
you don't have to talk to anybody. You just talk at the voice machine.
Yeah, no one will pick up. Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
It used to, when we first got it, I had it tied to my cell phone. But when it would ring, it would come up as Thumbstick Athletes in my phone, so I knew not to answer it.
Gotcha.
And then I just stopped having it forwarded to my cell phone.
Right. Because you didn't want to be tempted to answer it.
Yeah, if I had had a few
Yeah.
dark and stormies on a Friday night or something.
Tied one on.
Yeah.
Hello?
That would be
Sparky here.
That would freak me out if I was calling like a podcast I listened to and somebody answered.
Yep. Agreed. Next week's episode will be on Heroes of the Storm. It's looking like...
Are we also going to do E3 predictions at all?
Probably. That'll be the week after, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we'll do our E3 predictions the week after.
You're right. Yep.
Heroes of the Storm.
Oh,
It'll be Thursday or Friday next week. Probably Thursday.
by the way, I was wrong about the E3 schedule. Bethesda is Sunday.
Oh.
Even better.
June 14th, Bethesda is 10 p.m. East, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
And then you've got Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Sony all going on the 15th, starting at 9:30 and going through till 6 p.m. Sony starts.
Okay.
Nintendo, Square, and the PC Gaming Show are all on the 16th.
Cool.
That's all Pacific time, right?
Yeah.
Unless I specified, yes.
Okay.
You can find.
Yeah, I mean, it's
out there.
It's out there. Just Google E3 2015 schedule.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it for... Oh,
Spoilers?
spoilers. Yeah, we're going to do... we're going to play the end credits, and then we're going to talk about The Witcher 3 thus far for us.
Spoilerific.
Spoilerific. Yeah, we're going to talk about all the White Orchard stuff and headed into Vizima. And then after that, me and Eric are going to record a quick hangover where we're going to talk about the Bloody Baron quest line. So,
I forgot to give someone a shout out.
okay, let's hear it.
Friend of the show, Tim. Shout out to him, and just so he knows, his buddy Griffin is really wondering about the camping trip, so he should reach out to him and figure that out.
There you go.
He'll know what that means.
Sounds good.
Are you getting something free from him for doing that?
No.
Remember when he gave me something for doing something in the podcast?
Hey, didn't he want you to say meow or something?
Yeah, like they did in Super Troopers.
Yeah.
I think I had to do
Yeah.
it 10 times
It was-
without telling anybody why.
Yeah.
That movie still holds up, by the way.
Even asked what I was doing. You're all just like, well, Eric's usually a fucking idiot, so I guess we'll just go with it.
Did you know they're doing another Super Troopers?
Yes.
Yeah, leave it
Same
alone.
actors? Okay.
Leave it the fuck alone.
Point Break too. Point Break too. They're doing a new one.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, that'll do it for episode 201 of the Thumbstick Athletes podcast. I'm your host Dan.
I'm Eric.
I'm Corey.
Thanks for listening, and get out of my basement.
I gotta piss real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
How long was it?
2:35.
Right on cue.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I gotta say goodnight to my beloved.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are we gonna stream this? Or you want to cut the stream?
Oh, Jake wanted to watch.
We're just gonna attach it to the end of the episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's up to you. I don't care either
Well,
way.
I don't like. I mean, however you want to do it. I just don't like the idea of having a separate episode in our feed,
What do you mean?
in our iTunes feed, because it
I'm not
skews the numbers. No, I know. That's just what I'm saying. Like, keep it attached to the episode.
Oh,
Or,
you don't.
or separate
you
it into YouTube or something. I don't care.
You don't want me to put the Hangover as a separate episode,
Right. Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Just because it
Okay.
messes with the numbers.
Well, yeah. It gives us more downloads.
Yeah, but it's artificial.
Not really. It's its own separate episode. Kinda.
Yeah.
Are we?
It just makes it harder to gauge the numbers, like as we move forward.
Yeah.
It artificially inflates them because it's an extra however many people normally download our show, downloading it again.
Right.
Essentially,
I
it's
get
like a double. Yeah.
So you just want me to tack it on after the credits like I would
Yeah, isn't that what you said at the end of the episode? It's like stay tuned for the.
We're gonna do a hangover.
yeah. We were gonna do the white I'm sorry, what White Orchard?
White Orchard with Corey. And
Yeah,
then,
now
then
at the end of this episode, and then have a hangover for the Bloody Baron, because I want to title it, you know. But if you don't think we should put it as its own separate episode, we can not do that.
I mean, if you guys really want to, it's 2 against 1. But I don't know.
Well, I guess the thought is like listeners have expressed that they would like us to do more hangovers too.
Right.
And I mean,
I would say if you guys are really into it, then fine. I don't think it's a good idea for that reason. And you know, if it's somebody's first time listening, it's not a good showcase for what our podcast is about. So I would recommend, you know, either putting it up on YouTube, just putting it on the website. You know, maybe something to drive traffic to the website.
Yeah.
But if you really want to make it an iTunes episode, you know, I can't stop you.
Yeah. No, you make a fair point.
whatever.
Well, I mean, we're maybe I don't know. I don't want to tack it on just at the end of this episode too, because like I said, I kind of want the hangovers to be their own thing.
Yeah.
With the title and everything, so people know what they're getting.
Well, I think what people want is the spoiler discussions. I don't think they really care that it's a separate thing called a hangover episode.
Right, but I also don't want to necessarily tack it on to the end of an already
2.5
hour episode. You know, and be not nondescript about it. I think you're right. Maybe we'll put it on as its own thing on the website. You know.
Yeah.
I'll just have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah, I think if anything, we would do that instead of tacking it on to the end.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay as long as you announce it. You say, like, oh, after the credits, we're going to have a spoiler discussion of blank, so stay tuned for that. Then people know to listen afterwards, which I don't know if we did. I don't think we did that.
He did, but he said we're doing a spoiler one about stuff with you, but he also said then we're going to do a hangover as the extra.
Okay.
Word. Well, either way, we're going to record it now. So, all right, ready?
Yep.
Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and we're back after the end credits of the episode. We're going to talk about spoilers to this point. Now, Corey is not, as far as me and Eric in the main story, he's just through Vizima and just at the beginning stages of Velen. So we're going to do spoilers up to that point, starting in Kaer Morhen, right? The Witcher Stronghold. It's actually a dream sequence, the initial thing of Geralt of Rivia, who's it's just a dream. Like I thought maybe it was even a flashback, but it just goes through the training of your character. You know, you learn how to do all the combat stuff, and it's under the guise of training Ciri, the female like adopted daughter of Geralt, at the beginning, and at the end of it, she kind of wanders off. She's chasing. It was the head of like a training dummy or something that she chopped off.
It flew over the walls.
Flew over a wall, and she goes over the wall to get it, and it doesn't come back right away. And then the Wild Hunt attacks which is at least it seems to be the primary antagonist in the game so far. They're after Ciri for whatever reason, and they come and take her away. And then Geralt wakes up with Vesemir, who is one of the old elder statesmen,
the old guard.
Yeah, the elder statesman Witcher. To explain that it was a dream. Like I said, I had thought initially going through that it had been a flashback, but it was actually like just a straight up dream. It introduces you to some of the characters. You get to meet Yennefer, which is cool. Was Yennefer in the first game, Corey?
Nope.
Okay, so that's the first time you come across Yennefer, too, who she's introduced also during the dream sequence at the beginning.
There's mention of her.
No, she's actually like in the storyline and stuff. You just don't ever like meet her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah, she's in the whole and like throughout all of them, right?
I don't know if she's mentioned in. I don't know. I remember in 2 she's mentioned in passing as like a former love interest kind of thing.
Yeah, and like he spends a lot of the second game trying to piece together his past, which heavily involved Yennefer.
Okay.
In The Witcher 2, as he's recovering from his amnesia. So moving on from there, the Vesemir and Geralt kind of go into a small village called. I don't remember the name of the village.
Nope.
No, there's a lot of names for the small villages, and they go into the tavern. I forget what happens there.
There's a little bit of controversy with some locals, which seems to always happen to Geralt when he goes somewhere.
Yeah, I think, and I think we talked about this past or last week's episode. But in this game, you're definitely you feel more like an outcast because like people will spit at you as you're going by, and
everybody wants to fight you.
Yeah, or they'll call you cold, heartless bastard, quite a bit.
Freak.
Freak is another thing.
Witch fucker.
I haven't heard that one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you definitely feel like more of an outcast. So, but they set that up nicely at the beginning when you have does the tussle happen at the beginning, Corey?
No, later on.
Okay, that's the part I watched when you were finishing.
Mm-hmm.
So you do you do some Witcher and you get introduced to the land traversal. I'm drawing blanks on details.
It's not. I mean, the details of the opening part aren't that important. I think it is meant to just teach you the basics. And basically, all you need to understand is that the Nilfgaardians are pushing from the south.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a little bit of that in the White Orchard area because there's a lot of battlefields with bodies strewn about and destroyed towns and all that kind of stuff.
Nilfgaardian soldiers are kind of enforcing martial law in the area.
Yeah. Also known as the Black Ones, right?
Yeah, they're the kingdom in the south.
Yep.
Who destabilized the northern kingdom so they could take them over.
And the Black Ones comes from their armor, correct?
Yeah, because they wear black armor, yeah.
Right.
They destabilized the northern kingdoms in the second game so they could invade, which at least so far seems to be working out pretty well for them.
Yeah, sorry.
But you get a contract. You're chasing Yennefer. You want to find Yennefer. You hear she's in the area. You get a contract from the local Nilfgaardian commander, I guess, to kill a griffin in exchange for information. A griffin had been terrorizing the local populace, and so that's your initial foray into witchering, I guess. There's a kind of a side mission, the contract for the Devil in the Well. Is that what it was called?
Yes.
Which was cool. We already talked about that, so we probably don't need to get into that one again, right?
Yeah.
I think we talked about that both last week and this week, right?
Yeah. That was probably my favorite. Yeah, I like the one with the brothers too. But I think in terms of what I like about the Witcher game, I think the Devil in the Well was a pretty good early showcase for it. And I just like, and even when he's tracking the griffin, I just like when he does that Sherlock Holmesy kind of, oh, there's this here and this means blank. Oh, but look at this. This means blank, and he's just like dissecting every little thing and doing his tracking and all that stuff. Like I love that part of it.
Yeah, and what ended up happening was the Nilfgaardian soldiers went to the nest and they killed the griffin's wife and they smashed the eggs of the griffin's unborn children. So he went on a rampage.
Lost his mind.
Yeah, that's why he ended up attacking like the people in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure that out, and so you and Vesemir set a trap for the Griffin and fight him, and hopefully kill him.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not stuck on that part because that wasn't too hard of a fight.
No.
So you do that. You complete your contract. You go back into the town. You have a little tussle with some local populace. You end up beheading some of them and killing a few of them because I don't even remember how that whole conflict started. They were just upset with you for being Witchers, right?
Was that at the pub?
Yeah.
No. They were. That was the second one, the second pub. The first one, there's the woman who gets upset with the innkeep because she's very sort of neutral in the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that was, I alluded to it.
She was a Temerian patriot, and she was angry with the innkeep for
taking down their flags or something like that. Just because she wanted it to be over with. She was done with the whole conflict, and she's like, I just want to live my life now. Like, it's lost. Mm-hmm. But that was the moment I alluded to in the podcast where Geralt did something I thought was very uncharacteristically Geralt, where the Temerian patriot started bouncing the head of the innkeep off of the bar and bloodied her up real good. And Geralt went over and reached out to her and like asked her if she was okay, which is fine. But what really sort of got to me was the way he said it and the way they made him look. Like he looked very concerned, whereas the Geralt I've sort of become used to is this guy who's very reluctant in anything he does to help.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of what he does has in the past been inspired by money for the most part for these kind of conflicts or something very personal to him, someone he loves or cares about a lot. And just for him to get up and like reach out to her as quickly as he did and in the way that he did made me worry a little bit. Because that's part of what I love so much about Geralt was his just dry sarcasm and all that reluctance. And that one little moment I didn't care for that reason.
I didn't notice it.
That was a brutal attack, too.
That was pretty
Wasn't
brutal.
that?
Yeah.
I was like, he's going to kill that woman.
Yeah.
He's bouncing her face off of a fucking table.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. I feel like this game and some of the violence and themes in it have made me think a little bit more than other games ever have about stuff like that. It's just like all of a sudden this guy's bouncing this woman's face off a table. And it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal attack.
Yeah.
Jake brings up in the chat that Ciri has changed him, and I think that's true to a certain extent, but at the same time, like, Ciri is very personal to him. And I think when it comes to Ciri, he's going to be that way. He's going to be very sort of fatherly and looking out for her and stuff. But I don't know if it's changed him enough to get him to that point where he's that concerned for this innkeep that he has no relationship with.
Yeah. So Geralt and Vesemir end up killing the Temerian patriots, I guess you could say, the thugs that were starting the fight in the inn rather, and the innkeep actually kicks him out because she doesn't want that sort of stuff happening. So she kicks him out, says never to come back, and you go out and Yennefer's waiting outside for you. You thought the way they made it looked like you were going to be under arrest by the Nilfgaardian soldiers for killing some peasants or thugs, I guess, in the inn. But Yennefer's with them to come gather Geralt, I guess,
which I was surprised by.
Yeah,
because they sort of built it up like a lot of this game was going to be you searching for Yennefer.
Yes, I was surprised she was out there.
And
too.
then there she was.
Yep,
just waiting for you right there.
Which is a good indicator for me. Like, this game is probably not going to be what I expect all the way through.
Yeah. So she gathers you up and you head to Vizima, and while you're headed to Vizima, this is one of my favorite parts too. You get attacked by the Wild Hunt. They catch up to you. They kill all the guards that are following you. That I think they're kind of used as fodder a little bit. And I got that impression when they were, because they were following Geralt and Yennefer. They were, ahead. I don't know if Yennefer could sense that they were coming or not, but they're headed over a bridge, and Geralt and Yennefer are just a little bit ahead of the.
I think she totally sensed it because she says, like, as soon as I can get behind some thick
city walls. Yeah, I think that was foreshadowing of the attack that was coming.
Danger afoot.
Yeah, so you're running and you cross a little bridge after the Wild Hunt had wiped out all the other soldiers, and she blows up the bridge and saves Geralt and Yennefer. And I thought that part was awesome. I thought really enjoyed all that stuff.
Yeah, it was good.
Saving Geralt and Yennefer, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. It felt like the riders in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I got that impression from it too, and they kind of look like the
Ring Wraith, right?
Ring Wraiths, a little bit with the armor and stuff. So yeah, then you go into Vizima and you're having. It shows Geralt in the bath with ladies scrubbing him, which is cool. Geralt's just like chilling in the tub, getting scrubbed by some women.
Happy as can be in his element.
Yeah, absolutely. Then he gets out and he's got to have an audience with the Emperor of Nilfgaard for what he doesn't know.
Who Yennefer is joined with.
Yep, Yennefer kind of joins with the Nilfgaardians for protection, I guess, more than anything. Both seemingly from the Wild Hunt and from the negative view on sorceresses from other places. So
yeah, she has her reasons.
Yeah. So yeah, you get out of the tub. You got to pick out an outfit. Oh, this is the part where the general comes in to question. Where the general came in to question you
to build your backstory
on your past. Yeah, the part that I didn't get in my playthrough, he harassed me about losing the soldiers. He's like, what happened? So Geralt had to explain, just that they were attacked by the Wild Hunt on their way back to Vizima. So. And then you have your audience with the Emperor of Nilfgaard, who puts you on a mission to save Ciri. You kind of or to track down Ciri and bring her back, I guess. I don't know if it's a spoiler or not, but the Ciri is actually the daughter of the Emperor of Nilfgaard. And now,
how did she come into contact with Geralt?
Don't know yet. I think we have to figure that out.
Oh, okay.
She's in the books. I just don't remember in what context. I know he's like, at one point he's like hunting with her or running from somebody with her. I don't know. I don't really remember.
Yeah. Yeah, so he sends you on a mission to track her down. I think you're given the option at the end of that to either go to Novigrad or Velen, right?
I don't believe it gives you the option. I think you can, but it leads you towards Velen.
Yeah, it wants you to go to Velen first, definitely, but I think you also could have gone to Novigrad to find Triss. Triss is also supposed to have some information on Ciri. But I went to Velen because that's what it seemed like you were supposed to do.
And I think Yennefer tells you that that's where you should start, so...
Yeah.
Trusted her.
Maybe the levels are higher for the Triss stuff.
They
are. Right off the bat. So maybe that's why.
I just met Triss.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet.
That's what I did before I came over.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just finished the storyline in Velen.
That's actually what I wanted to ask you guys about. What happened between Triss and Geralt in Witcher 2?
It depends on choices at the end of the game.
Oh. Okay.
So for like at the very end of the Witcher 2, this is Witcher 2 spoilers. It's been out for a long time, so
yeah.
If you haven't played it,
too bad.
Yeah, too bad. Play it, you probably won't make any sense to you. So yeah, at the end of the Witcher 2, Triss gets kidnapped by the guy you're chasing down the entire game in the Witcher 2. From the very beginning, he kidnaps her, makes her teleport him out of danger, and you're looking for Triss. But when you get to the end of the game, you're given the option to help someone find rescue the Queen of Temeria, the young Queen of Temeria, or find Triss.
Okay.
So you can do either or.
What'd you pick?
I rescued Triss.
You would.
Why?
She can save herself.
Yeah, but
that was my logic anyway.
Vernon Roche, he was capable.
Yeah,
and he end up saving Anais on his own.
That's true too.
Yeah. No, I wanted to stay loyal because I remember Triss from the first Witcher game.
Yeah, at a certain point you can choose your relationship, and I chose Shawnee. Shawnee? I think that's her name in the first one.
Right.
So I never felt that attachment to Triss. I know the Witcher 2 kind of wanted you to have that relationship with her, but I just ignored it.
Yeah. How dare you?
I don't know.
Corey's the wild card.
Rejecting Triss's advances.
Where's my Shawnee? I haven't seen Shawnee.
I don't know if she might be in it.
Haven't seen her.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the even small decisions carried on from, or small quest lines that you did in the second keep carried on to the third. One in particular that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't get the chance to, was there's a mission or a side story thing, I guess, that you can do at the beginning of The Witcher 2, where you have like a drinking contest with some of the soldiers of the Blue Stripes, and you get really schnockered, and you go and get a bad neck tattoo when you're blackout drunk. Guess that bad neck tattoo carries through the entirety of the second game and into the third game. I forgot to do that mission in The Witcher 2. I did it when I played on Xbox, but when I just played it now, I forgot to do that. Because that bad neck tattoo would still be on there.
Maybe somebody would have made some comments about it.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Probably. Yeah, I missed out on that. But
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's it to this point. Anything you want to discuss?
Corey, you wanted to talk about the quest with the two dudes in the shack, right?
Yeah, the brothers at the battle scene. There's all these dead bodies, and you're supposed to help this one guy find his brother. And you track him to this cabin, but he's in there with a blinded soldier from the opposing force. They both sort of found each other and saved each other. One was blind and one was crippled, right? Mm-hmm. And they helped each other kind of get away from the battle.
Blind and a cripple walk into a bar.
Pretty much. And they're sitting in there having some laughs and stuff, and you show up and decide what to do. I wasn't sure on this one, so I told the soldier from the opposing force to stay put, because I didn't think he'd live very long if he came with us back to town.
Yeah, I had him come back.
I made him stay.
Did you? Yeah. I was the outlier on this one.
Yep. What happened, Dan?
They figured out that they were going to disguise him as a peasant, but that they wouldn't make him talk because his accent would give him away if he talked. His Nilfgaardian accent, yeah. So they were gonna adopt him, for lack of a better word, give him a job on the farm and just not speak. So.
Well, I'm interested to see if that has any ripple effects.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It seems like a lot of the stuff does have a ripple effect
it's
on the game.
Pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah,
all that happens.
Yep.
What was the other one? You didn't want to talk about the lady in the well at all?
Nah, there's not much to talk about. I don't think you don't really make a decision there, do you?
No. We covered it too.
You're right.
Did you guys bow to the Emperor?
No.
Nope.
I think I did.
I'm pretty sure I did not.
I think I did.
Did you accept the money from the Nilfgaardian general for killing the Griffin?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't have let that one go for free. I don't think.
Definitely
not from Nilfgaard in there.
Well, you start to walk away, and then he stops you, and he's like, "I don't want you to. I don't want you to think I'm not going to pay you or something."
Yep.
It kind of makes me wonder, like, is that going to come back to bite you? Like, you accepted money from a Nilfgaardian general.
You never know.
Yeah.
The way The Witcher works, that's what's great about it, is you never know when that stuff's going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, no, I took the cash. Especially after you figure out that they killed his old lady and his babies. You know?
Yeah, that was a pretty bad thing to do.
Yeah, he was just pissed.
Yeah.
Put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it for spoilers, right? I don't have anything else. Corey?
Nope, that's all I got, guys.
Out where you're at, Corey?
Let's see. Yeah, I made it to the second inn where there's another brawl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's where I stopped. In the Velen area?
Yeah.
I should say I really like the fist fighting.
That's cool.
It's fun.
Yeah. That was in the first game, second game, and third game.
Yeah.
The fight clubs.
It's fun. Yeah.
I've only done the first fist fight. I haven't done the second and third ones yet.
I'm the champion fist fighter of Velen.
Nice. Yeah, that's the sort of stuff I'm going to be working on when I go upstairs and start playing again.
The other day, I was like, I really should stop playing, and then I saw that Fight Club thing, like all these fist fights in Velen was a quest. I was like, I'm gonna do that one, and then I'll stop playing.
I gotta do the horse races too.
I haven't done any horse races.
Yeah.
Other than what's in the story.
Right.
So.
Okay. Is that everything, Corey?
That's it.
All right, I guess we'll call it an episode. Thanks for listening. We'll probably have a few of these every now and again. Maybe we'll do a catch up on stuff that's happened so far.
Sure.
Compare notes, if you will. So, all right. Thanks for listening. All right.
Are we gonna stream our Bloody Baron talk?
Probably not.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be there. I'm leaving. I gotta go to bed. Right. I wish I could, though. I wish I had played it so I could have the conversation.
I know. I wish you could too.
I'll try to get caught up.
Good luck.
A lot of The Witcher I gotta play to get caught up. I've got 8. I could probably get like 15 hours in between now and Saturday.
I put 2 6 to 7 hour sittings in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was up all night one night playing. What happened? I went to bed at like 12:30. Marlo woke up. Someone woke up at 2. And I woke up and I was laying in bed. And I was like, shit. And I went downstairs and I played The Witcher until like 4.
Yeah.
I went upstairs because Marlo woke up, so I needed to give her a bottle. So I gave her a bottle. I got back in bed and I laid in bed for half an hour. And I was like, shit. So I went downstairs and I played until like 7:30.
Oh,
and
God.
then the house woke up. So I had slept like an hour and a half that night.
Oh. I don't know how you do that.
I actually did okay. I drank a lot of coffee all day, and that kept me going. By like 10:30 at night, I was ready to crash.
I'd be miserable.
But I did all right.
All right, guys.
It's a game that's easy to do that.
Oh, my God, absolutely.
To just put tons of hours into and not even think about it.
All right, Corey.
Later, Corey.
I'm going to stop the stream.
Okay.
If you're still there, thanks for listening.